podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Hi, this is Leo Laporte, and this is my Tech Guy podcast. This show originally aired on the Premier Network's 200 stations coast to coast, more or less, on Saturday, October 10th, 2020. This is episode 1735. Enjoy. The Tech Guy podcast comes to you from TWiT's LastPass studios. You're focused on security, but are your employees? LastPass can ensure they are by making access and authentication seamless, whether employees are working in the office or remotely. Visit lastpass.com/twit to learn more. This episode of The Tech Guy is brought to you by ESET. ESET protects businesses worldwide with internet security products and services backed by world-class research and tech support. Get an interactive demo right now at try.eset.com/twit to start your free trial today. And by SimpliSafe. There are a lot of options out there, but SimpliSafe is a no-brainer. Get simple, professional monitoring day and night. Head to SimpliSafe.com/twit and get a free HD camera with any purchase. Well, hey. How are you today? Leo Laporte here, the Tech Guy. Oh my. It's time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography. We got your smartphones, we got your smart watches, we got all that jazz. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number if you want to talk high tech. Anything with a chip in it, I'll talk about it. I mean, if it's, a lawnmower with a chip in it, I may not talk intelligently about it, but I'll talk about it. 8888 Ask Leo is the phone number. When you hear something on the show and you say, ooh, I got to write that down, you don't have to write that down. We're writing that down for you. My professional scribe, James DeRuvo, who's been writing down my words since time began. He probably feels that way. Back in the early days, James, when you do it with a chisel and a rock, it was a little harder. Now he's got a computer. But we put that all up on the website, techguylabs.com, so you don't have to write it down. And that's free. There's no sign up. I'm not pitching you on another subscription. We already have too many subscriptions, don't we? Oy. You ever look at your credit card bill and go, what's that $5? What's that $5? What's that $5? What's that $100? They sure add up, I'll tell you. No, we don't do that to you. techguylabs.com. It's good to remember that because then if you hear something, you just can go there. We divide the website into different shows. There's 1,735 of them as of today. And then each individual show is divided into hours, 1, 2, and 3. Yes, it's 3 hours per show. And then each hour is divided up into segments. There's 4 per hour. So you can kind of usually find, if you kind of roughly know the time, you can drill right down there. There's even audio and video from past shows up there. So you can listen or watch my answer and then see the notes. And then, honestly, if you say, Leo, I have a better idea, or more likely, Leo, you're full of it, you can fix that by commenting. There's a comment section there, too, and we appreciate that because that helps make it better for us all. techguylabs.com. I'm always learning. Believe me, I don't have all the answers. This is impossible in this business. This is fast-paced, fast-moving business. It's going to move even faster starting Tuesday. Apple has an event called High, Speed, which is, we're pretty sure it's going to be the iPhone 12 announcement. There are still some question marks. There will be, we believe, when I say we, I don't know nothing. The rumor mongers, some of whom seem to be pretty astute and right on, believe there will be 4 different models of iPhone announced on Tuesday. 4. An iPhone mini, and that's its name, which is hysterical. The iPhone mini will be, mini, small, but not that small. I mean, hey, it's the 21st century. You can't be, mini is smallish, smaller, the smallest of the 4. I can't remember, is that 6.1 inches? I'll have to go look at the rumors. I don't keep track of these that much because, although by this time, here we are a few days before the announcement, usually they've converged on a truth, an agreed upon truth. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. And then, by the way, all four will have 5G, even though it doesn't matter, because if you can get 5G, and if you're on T-Mobile, they have what they call low-band 5G, which is low and, not any faster than LTE. They have mid and up ultra band or high band, which you can almost not get anywhere. And there's AT&T 5G, which is really just 4G masquerade with a little mask on saying, "Ooh, boo, I'm 5G," and it's not faster. So there's really believe me, this we're talking 5G is years away, like at least a year or two before it's going to come to you, unless you're in a big city like New York City and you're within 100 feet of the transmitter. There's very limited 5G, so don't worry about 5G. So let's see. There's the Mini. Actually, the Mini is really small. I'm sorry. I'm going to correct myself. 5.4 inches, according to rumor monger Mark Gurman, who usually is pretty good on these. Then there'll be a iPhone 12. That's just the middle one. That usually is the best seller, by the way. Although with a Mini in there, we might, that might be there might be something there people will want, because it's really 5.7, so tiny. So let's see. Let me think. Okay, the iPhone 12, which, by the way, the biggest thing is going to be colors. Lots of colors. The iPhone 12. Then the 12 Pro, which will have 3 cameras, not 2, and the Pro Max, which will be really big. So there's the 5.4 Mini. This is so confusing. The iPhone 12, which is 6.1 inches. The iPhone 12 Pro, which is 6.1 inches. And the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is 6.7 inches. Anyway, they're going to announce it Tuesday. So you'll figure it out. Pricing, it's going to be expensive. I think the lowest cost, the iPhone Mini, will be around $700, but don't quote me. 5G in all four. Anything else to tell you? No. They'll all be OLED. No more LCD screens. That's over, supposedly. They'll all come with Apple's new A14 chip, which is like so fast. It's really fast. Maybe better battery life, which is an issue because, 5G radios just drain the battery super fast. I guess really I should have just waited till next week. We could talk about it because that's, the thing that we don't know is when you'll be able to get these phones. So they're going to announce it Tuesday. Typically what Apple would do is say you can order Friday, this coming Friday, which is the 16th. Now it's the 13th. Get the 16th, and it would arrive at your doorstep the 23rd, a week after that. That's typical, and I think that's probably going to be the case with the Mini and the iPhone 12. The 12 Pro, probably a week or two after that. So if you want the Pro, and you probably, I don't know, it depends on your budget. The Pro isn't going to be that much better. Just bigger screens, not even bigger screens on the 12 Pro. Pro Max bigger screen. It's kind of confusing. Maybe we'll see a new HomePod, which is Apple's speaker. Never first one didn't sell that well, so I'm not that excited. Maybe we'll see. It'd be fun to see AirTags, which we've been rumored to talk about for so long. But we don't know. The AirTags would be like Tile or Tracker, where they, Bluetooth tag you put on your keys in the phone. You can point your phone and say, dee, 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 dee. There it is. That'd be cool, I guess. That's about it. And, you're wondering, well, when is Apple going to announce their new Macs that are powered by the Apple chips, right? If you're following closely, you're asking that question. According to the same Mark Gurman at Bloomberg, he seems to be pretty well connected. Yesterday, he put out a story. It wasn't even about that, right? One sentence in the middle of the story, a little way down, said Apple will announce their new Macintoshes in a separate event next month. Oh. Mark knows how to bury the lead. That's way down there. So But that's kind of what we thought. They don't want to take away any of the gloss and glory from the iPhone. Tuesday will be iPhone. Another month, then they'll announce Macintoshes. Okay, so there you go. That's it. That's the story. That's all I have to say. I don't have anything more about that, but just watch carefully. Microsoft has told its employees, now Twitter did this, and now Microsoft's doing it, you're going to be able to work from home forever. We're not making you come back. That's it. I think this is going to be really interesting. You know what would be good is if it kept cars off the road, reducing pollution, reducing use of gas, and making it easier for those who have to drive, right? Less congestion. Employees who opt at Microsoft for the permanent remote work option will give up their office. Well, you don't need it anymore, but you could touch down. There's a little, hot swappable desk for you waiting. All right, we're going to go to the phones. 8888 Ask Leo. They're already jammed. Let's see. We're going to Dr. Mom's coming up. She's going to review the new Amazon wrist thing that tells you if you're yelling at people. That should be interesting. That should be very interesting. That's coming up. I love your theme song. I want to steal it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the unbreakable Kimmy Schaffer. Kimmy, don't take no Schaffer. She's our phone answerer. And today she's posing as you look like you should be an Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Like you just escaped from the work farm. I like the stripy shirt.
Beetlejuice, prison, or a chef.
Yeah, chef shirt.
Pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
The air is clear.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I did?
It's so nice to actually hang out outside
I
yesterday.
know. Breathe. We've been, in case you don't know, we've been smoked out for the last, feels like 3 months.
Yeah.
For Northern California wildfires. I went out and got, you know how they have that purple air map? Mm-hmm. So I found out, I didn't realize this, but the EPA air quality sensors, the official ones, the government, are, of course, they're government air sensors. They're over $100,000 each. So they don't put in a lot of them.
They don't put them in your own personal home either.
Well, the nearest one to us is Sebastopol.
Okay.
Now, especially with these wildfires, the air quality in Sebastopol, how you said it was 18 miles away? Something like that?
Yeah, and it should be clearer over there, too, because it's the coast.
Yeah.
Ish.
So it doesn't reflect
here
the conditions here in our little burb. So I went out and got one of those purple sensors. So you know those purple air maps, which are all inexpensive, couple $100 sensors, which seem to be fairly accurate. And I went out and got one for the house. So
Did you
outside.
finally install it?
I did install it this weekend.
Okay.
And it's good because I knew whether, for instance, I was supposed to do an outdoor workout with my trainer on Thursday, and I looked and it was 150. I said, no. I said, no. NFL won't play a game at 150. I won't work out at 150.
And they're specimens from...
Are you implying they're in better shape than I am? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it's true. So I made a little web page that I can consult at any time. Right now at the house, it's 21, which is good.
Just looking up, I'm looking for your sensor.
It's breathable. So that means I can go outside and work out, but don't tell my trainer, please.
Because you're trying to not?
Well, who wants to work out?
I
did. We went on a walk last night. It was so pleasant to breathe the air. Anyway, who should I talk to here to start the show off?
How about Bonnie, who's doing virtual? She was doing virtual learning before it was cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kim. Hello, Bonnie. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, Leo. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I am great. My husband and I have been fans for years. We listen to you all the time. Love your show.
Thank you. What's your husband's name?
His name is Dean.
Hi, Dean. Thank you, Dean and Bonnie. What can I do for you? Oh.
So I have a question.
Yes.
And I'm really hoping you can help. So she was saying, Kim, I was virtual for 6 years, even before the world went crazy and went virtual. And I've been using the same program to text my students and parents, Google Voice. And for some reason now, it is hit or miss who is receiving my text, and I can't not figure out.
That's very frustrating. So Google Voice is a wonderful service. Google bought it from a company called Grand Central. And like you, I've been a Google Voice user since it was Grand Central. I mean, as long as it's been around. And what you can do is for free, you can get a phone number. And you can do phone calls with it, but they're phone calls over the internet. They're not like real phone calls. And text messaging. But because it's a internet-based text messaging, it requires a gateway, something between it and the phone network. And that is provided generally by the carriers, Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, and then there are some littler ones like US Cellular and stuff. So if those, not every company, it's been my experience, will pass through Google Voice. For instance, you can't always use it for two-factor authentication, right? And it really depends on who is supporting Google Voice and who isn't.
Would that have changed? Because, like I said, I've been doing it for 6 years, and it's never been an issue.
What's probably changed is the parents. Right? It's different. It's always different parents, right?
It's different, right. The students and parents are different each semester.
So each semester you get a different batch.
Right.
And then the new batch may be using a different carrier than the old batch, that kind of thing. You're going to get some drop-off.
So, Dean.
So here's the deal. And I think the other thing, Dean. So the other reason this is Dean. Hey, Dean. So the other reason this has changed is remember that the carriers are now blocking bots and stuff, right? So they're getting more aggressive about blocking spam as well.
That's what, okay.
So here's the deal. Scott, thanks to our chat room, Scooter X gave me this. freecarrierlookup.com. freecarrierlookup.com. And it'll tell you if you're going to have issues. So this is the problem. So really what you want is a phone number. Here, I'm going to recommend some. This is a sponsor of some of our podcasts. I've been using this for a while, and I like it. Are you you're doing this from a cell phone, I presume, yeah?
From my cell phone, right. And I was debating whether to just get a new Google Voice number. So hopefully. No,
I don't think that'd solve it.
No? Okay.
It's about Google Voice itself, the service. Take a look and just try this. You can try it for free. It's MySudo, MySudo. It's similar to Google Voice. You set up a phone number. You also set up email. And all the texts to and from you come through that phone number or email. And I use it because I don't want to, I deeply regret now giving money to a political candidate because, of course, my phone is now jammed with text messages.
Oh, my goodness.
So if you use MySudo as the phone number and the email and all of that, it'll go into that mailbox and it's a separate thing. I think you can try it for free. I think I pay 99 cents a month. It's not expensive. But I would try first to see if if the text messages are getting through. But it's a different system than Google Voice, and it might. I think my experience with Google Voice is Google doesn't do a great job of making sure everybody supports it. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Yeah, this is something I've always had trouble with Google Voice because I use my main number is a Google Voice number, but I converted it to Fi. I got a Fi phone. And, from Google's phone service. And that seems to have changed it a little bit more reliable, although I still occasionally run into people say you can't use it for two-factor. So that tells me that it's not using the phone, the traditional, what we call POTS, plain old telephone service network. It's using an internet gateway. And if it doesn't work with so I'm guessing some parents either on a carrier that doesn't support it or more likely that carrier has gotten more aggressive about blocking spam and your incoming text message is seen as spam.
Got it. Especially since some of them are identical or very similar to the different parents.
Exactly. That's the thing that they're trying to block is this so-called neighbor spam. So I would try that. Maybe try MySudo. You can do this lookup. Yeah, freecarrierlookup.com. Give you some idea of whether you're being considered, a spammer. I'm not sure what the right answer is, except for getting a real phone number. But you don't want to do that.
No, I definitely do not want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want them to have your phone number, and that's appropriate. So, because they'll be calling you in the middle of the night saying, why, little Joey got a C. Little Joey's brilliant. Why do you give him a C for? What do you teach?
Exactly. I teach electives. I teach like career research and decision making and critical thinking.
I need you to teach our son. What do you teach in high school? I guess you do.
I teach high school. Yes.
Oh, that is boy. Is that in a public school?
Yes, I teach with the public school.
I am so glad they offer that.
Yeah, I work for a virtual school who works with the Dade County schools in Miami.
Nice. Yeah. Michael went to Connections Academy for a while, which is one of the virtual schools. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
This one is a different one. It's Florida virtual, but so.
Yeah, Connections is California. I think it's Pearson that does that one. Anyway, I'm so glad they teach that. And thank you for doing that. Thank you. That's probably the most important skill a kid could learn nowadays.
Yeah, I think especially with the world the way it is right now, I find it's been amazing for the students to get the information that they need.
It's eye-opening for them probably, right? Oh, you mean that post on Facebook that's not reliable? No! No, it's not reliable. Anyway, so what you got to do is, I think my pseudo might be perfect for you. I realize it's not free, but $1 a month is not awful.
Oh, yeah.
But I would try before you buy just to make sure that it gets through. But then it's like Google Voice, but even better because you're really segregating all of that traffic. You can have a special email address at pseudomail.com, government teacher or whatever you want it to be. And then that way everything goes into that mailbox and that phone box and all the messages are there. And that's exactly what you want. You want access to it, but you don't want it to be ringing your phone in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
I completely understand. Yeah, see if that works for you. And we'll collect some more other ideas for something like that because I think that's something you're not alone on that. A lot of people, I don't want to be harassed by, vendors and all sorts of stuff. So I use it all the time for that kind of thing. Like I made the mistake of signing up for, tell me more about something like batteries for the house. And they never let me go. I mean, I get calls all the time. So now you put it in my pseudo, you don't get it anymore. mysudo.com.
mysudo. Excellent. Oh,
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dean.
So
Dean! Bonnie was on the radio, Dean. Hi, Dean.
He's going to be so excited.
See you later, Bonnie.
Got a shout out from Leo.
Yay! Hi, Dean. Hi, Bonnie. Take care, guys.
Thank you so much. You take care.
You too. Hey, our show today brought to you by the best darn company antivirus in existence. And I can say that. It's so nice to get them back. It's been a long time, ESET. I've been an ESET fan forever. And what you may not know is that we use ESET here at TWiT, and we've been using it forever. ESET is a global leader for over 30 years in cybersecurity, and it's the antivirus we rely on in the business. That's why I love ESET, because it protects everybody inside our business. We need enterprise-grade security. It doesn't slow us down, doesn't get in the way of the workflow. Has to block new threats. That's always a problem, in addition to ransomware. And there's always 0 days coming out every day. ESET's a great fit for us with multiple layers of protection built right in, a very light system footprint. You don't even know it's there. It's available on-prem or in the cloud. That's how we use it. I don't have ESET on any of my devices, but it's still protecting me. Everything that comes in and out of TWiT goes through ESET. You have the option to purchase directly. You can do it as we did it through your managed service provider, Russell, thank you, or through their ESET reseller program. And that's nice. They're flexible. Find the option that's right for you. They don't mind, but you do need that protection. And I tell you, Russell and our IT department love ESET's Security Management Center because they get a real-time overview, not just of the on-prem, but the off-premise endpoints. They're all protected too. Very important with this work-from-home environment. There's full reporting, automated security management for all your operating systems, and you can access it wherever you can get online. Russell doesn't even have to come on site. He can just check and see how it's going. Their newest product is a must-have. It's called Dynamic Threat Defense. This adds another layer for ESET. More security for endpoints, email security. It uses a cloud-based, this is so brilliant, sandboxing technology. So when it sees something, this is so cool. When it sees a threat it hasn't seen before, it just suspects something, it can identify it, uploads it to their sandbox-protected cloud, executes it there, not on your network, up there, sees what it does. If it says it's malware, then it can block it from you and stop it before it reaches your users or your network. Dynamic Threat Defense, a better experience than any other security option. It's just brilliant. Don't execute it on my network. You take it, see if it's safe, and if it is, it passes it through. We've been using ESET for years. They're trusted by thousands of state and local governments, top universities, and enterprises worldwide. And if, by the way, if you're in a business that you have compliance requirements, ESET can handle those too. PCI if you do credit cards, GLBA if you handle customer financial transactions, HIPAA if you're in healthcare. Look, your employees are the first line of defense, and if you have a remote workforce, you should check out ESET's Remote Workforce Bundle for advanced ransomware and business data protection, along with other bundles that ESET offers, so you can protect your employees no matter where they are. Every time I see Russell, I say, are we safe? Are we safe, Russell? I'm worried. Are we going to get hit? He says, we're safe, Leo. We got ESET. I go, okay, fine. Top reviews from independent testing labs for minimal system impact. That's why I like it. And extremely accurate detection. A great fit for our small business viewers, too. Or your medium-sized business. ESET understands the security and concerns of SMBs, so you can trust ESET to future-proof your business. Get an interactive demo at try.eset.com/twit. Start your free trial today. See it right there? try.eset.com/twit. Get a free trial of ESET's award-winning endpoint protection. Now more than ever, we need ESET. Are we safe, Russell? Are we safe? Yeah, we got ESET. Okay, just checking. I swear to God, I wake up in the middle of the night, ransomware. Are we safe, Russell? We're safe. We got ESET. Try.eset.com/twit. Thank you for supporting the podcast. ESET. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Normally Scott Wilkinson would be joining us. Oh, I should have recognized that guitar lick. That's good. That's good stuff. The late, great EVH. Oh, man. 88, and you're making me cry now. 8888 Ask Leo, the phone number. Our musical director is very, very good. She's always very timely. Professor Laura, thank you for reminding us. Let me see. What am I saying here? What am I talking about? I'm talking about Scott Wilkinson, who would normally be here talking about TVs and surround sound. He's a lucky guy. He and his wife, Joanna, have taken off for the hills just for this week. They're on vacation. An unplanned, unexpected vacation. They just decided, you know what? We got to get out of here. Don't you feel like that? I got to get out of here. So that means more time for you. 8888 Ask Leo. I have to say, it's really disappointing. And I guess I've learned my lesson with Google. We think of Google as a normal company. No, wrong. They're not a normal company. A normal company, you'd create a service. You'd charge people for the service. You'd make a business out of it. And then you'd be you'd only cancel something or break something or change something if, there were no customers, and that was a bad business. And then usually you'd go out of business. Not with Google. Google's business has nothing to do with all the things they do. Their business is advertising, right? They have a search engine. That's how they started. And they put advertisements on there and they charge people for that. It's a very lucrative business. They make billions of dollars a month doing this. And then all the other things they do, like Gmail and Google Voice, and I can go on and on, Google Docs. For the most part, they do charge for the business version of Google Docs, G Suite, which they've changed the name of now. I can't remember. It's got a new name. But this is the problem. They don't have a dog in any of these hunts. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a stake in it. They don't care. Well, we always got the search thing to fall down on, all back on. We don't need this to make money. So they do stuff all they really what they want you to do is use the internet more. That's how they make money. The more you use it, the more you're going to use them, the more money they're going to make. So that's why they give away a free browser, Chrome. Very good browser. Most people use it. They don't do that out of the goodness of their heart. Oh, the world needs a new browser. They do it because when you use it, you're using Google services and they make more money because they show you ads, basically. That's their business. So because they don't have a stake in any of these projects, they just drop them willy-nilly. And it's happened over and over and over again. Remember, they were going to be the next social network. They were going to be the better than Twitter, Facebook social network. They remember Google Plus? Nobody remembers it now because it's gone. They put everything into it. At one point, it was so important to Google. Google said to all its employees, tens of thousands of people all over the world, your bonus depends on how well we do in social, in Google Plus, basically. That's your bonus is best. We're betting the farm on that. Then like 2 years later, go, never mind. So Google Voice, who the heck knows what's going on with it? I keep thinking they're going to shut it down. They also have a Google phone service called Fi, F-I. I use it. By the way, when you sign up for Google Fi, they take your Google Voice number and say, good, now that's your Fi number. So there. And there's no going back. They are not a customer-first company. I think that's the most important thing to understand. They're not interested in you as an individual or apparently or even your opinion of them. They don't care because unless you stop using Google search or stop using the web entirely, because everything on the web is sponsored by Google search, there's really only two advertising companies on the internet, Facebook and Google. They have 80% of all the ads. 80%. So that's all they care about. And it doesn't matter if you like them or not. I'm sure as people, they like to be liked, but they don't. It's easy for them to cut off a service and get a lot of angry mail. And they go, yeah, whatever. We'll make a filter for that. It's like, remember Lily Tomlin? You have to be of a certain age to remember Lily Tomlin as, what was her name, Ernestine, the telephone operator. She said, she worked for Ma Bell. She said, we don't care. We don't have to. Because when you're that big, you don't have to. We're the phone company. We don't have to care. 8888 Ask Leo. Josh is on the line from Denver, Colorado. Hello, Josh.
Oh, Leo, thank you for taking my call.
Hello, Josh. Thank you for calling.
I have a kind of an obscure question. About a month ago, you were talking about a product that would do things like the Sonos to cast into, other rooms, but it was not Sonos. I just can't remember the actual name of the product that you were discussing.
I'm not sure what I was talking about either, but I'll tell you what, the thing is, well, here's the thing. Sonos used to own that, right? The idea, and I bought almost $10,000 worth of Sonos speakers over the years because you could put them in every room, and then you could have any internet streaming stuff go into any speakers or go into what they called party mode, where all the speakers in the house would play the same music. Great for a house party. I loved it. Used it about four times.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife has an acupuncture clinic, and she's like, I really want to play everything in all the rooms.
Yes, and that's hard to do normally because
it is. Yeah, and
it'll echo.
You were talking about
if you're half a second off, it'll sound like a ghost house where the music's echoing in all the.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But that was then. This is now, and this is it's unfortunate. In fact, Sonos is now suing Google. Because everything will do it. So Google, those Google speakers, and they sell a lot of them. They just announced a new one, the Nest speakers. You could put a Nest speaker in every room, and they have magically done the same thing Sonos has done, where you can have multi-room play, where you don't get that weird echo. But it's not just them. Amazon does the same thing. Anybody who sells wireless speakers, those speakers that can get on the internet and play the same thing.
Correct.
Now, I really like the Google speakers. They just came out with a new bunch of smaller. I think they'd be perfect for an acupuncture because you're not playing the music really loud.
It's not ripping. It's not like party. You're
playing.
Thing,
I know exactly what you're playing. You're playing that spa kind of music where it's
soundscapes.
And then Enya comes on and goes, oh, so,
exactly.
So you don't need,
Perfect example right there.
Sail away, sail away. So I don't, that's what I don't want to hear Eddie Van Halen while I'm getting acupunctured. So I would look at the new Nest Audio. These are $100 per. And they do that multi-room, and what's nice is they're Google Voice. So, and by the way, you'd probably want to turn this off in most of the rooms so that the clients don't go, "Hey, Google, stop it!" So you probably, which I just stopped all the music, and everybody listening to this show, I apologize. I'm sorry. But she can have one of them that does that, or could do it on her phone, and it will all play the same, and they will all sync together. And they'll do
That's
nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It was really just trying to find a cheaper solution, just to have some ambient background music. Not.
I think $100 per room, and the sound quality is very good for ambient, like that. It has a decent bass. It's small, and it's pretty. It's fabric colored. It'll go nicely in the room. So if she already had a speaker system, you could do. Yeah, right. It's perfect for an It's made for an acupuncture clinic.
Oh, wow. You're totally selling me on this.
Yeah. Just don't stick needles in the speakers.
Not me and my wife.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if that's the one I was talking about, but that one, those will do it. Everybody does it now. By the way, that's why Sonos is suing them. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I don't know if there's merit in the Sonos suit or not, but Sonos is pissed because so I might have been mentioning the Ultimate Ears UE speakers. Ooh. They also have multi-room sound.
I was going to say that actually sounds much more like what was being talked about. Yeah,
they call them the mega booms. Those work, but I actually think the Google would work better for you. The only bad side to it is you can talk to it because they're all. But you can disable that.
I had that issue. Up in the mountains. The people had multi-connected Alexas, and when we were eating breakfast, I heard the mom say, "Blah blah blah."
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, poop. We gotta go. And
I'm yikes!
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, she's at the house back in Denver, talking to her kid, yelling at her kid to hurry up. And that just we're in Winter Park, and it just came over the speaker.
That's hysterical.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, they had a big kick out of it when I told them.
Oh, good. You told them. That's good.
Actually. I had.
Oh, yeah. I can hear what you're saying. Yeah, that's a problem. And so that's what all of these have a switch on the back that can disable the microphone. And then you just have the one in her office, for instance. Or she doesn't even have to use voice. She could do it on her phone and just tell it what to play.
And that's perfect. Yeah, I think that's the way it should go. So, are there any discrepancies between if she has an iPhone? I mean, she doesn't.
No, not at all. No, I use it with an iPhone all the time.
All right, perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. Take a look at them. They just came out with these.
Me out so much. So I'm going to gain so many points from this. I can't even tell you.
Honey, I have a system for you, and it's a lot less expensive than Sonos. I think when you go to look at the Nest Audio speakers, if you go to store.google.com, you can look at them. Okay. They're perfect. Beautiful. They look like they belong. You can even get them in a light green, a light blue, or kind of a pinkish color. They're beautiful.
I mean, really, light blue. You're killing me right now. And the worst thing is, I'm thinking like all kinds of points. I'm probably going to get 2 points.
2 points. Wow.
Yeah, 2 points, man.
Wow.
That's tough to come by these days.
You're going to be moving off the couch into the bedroom any day now, buddy.
Exactly. Yeah. This is a great weekend. I mean, it's beautiful outside.
I bet it's beautiful. Are you in Denver right now?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Gorgeous.
It's
just
great.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Finally, a little smoke-free.
You guys had the smoke too. Yeah, I feel so bad.
Oh, it was terrible.
Isn't it awful? You realize how important fresh air is, and
it is. But I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword because that those fires are what is necessary to create life in that.
That's right.
You know,
But that's
and
why,
that
you know,
plays,
here, I don't know what they're doing in Colorado. They stopped controlled burns in California. And if you don't do them, Mother Nature will.
Oh, yeah, it's going to happen. And that's what I think that's really what's hard for people to realize. And the thing is, like, I really feel bad for people who lose anything in that, but they also have to realize that they're in nature.
You're building in the woods. You know, I really feel bad.
That take place.
This glass fire that just happened up here in Sonoma burned down houses that were just rebuilt from the fire 2 years ago.
Oh, gosh.
And you got to go,
oh. Terrible.
Oh. Hey, I got to run, Josh. Thank you.
Leo, it was a pleasure talking to you, man. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.
You too. Take care.
Thanks, Ben.
8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. On we go with the show. GJ in Snohomish, Washington. Hello, GJ.
I'm GJ, a computer pro. Long time no talk.
Oh, how are you?
I'm good. I'm fresh out of Facebook jail after my 78th offense, so I'm back on Facebook.
Wow. Why do you keep trying?
I'm I'm just that kind of guy. And it was nice to see you walk in the TWiT studios online. And I'd like to play a drinking game where, depending on the number of masks you're wearing, I take a shot. Like
today I was wearing two, but you know why I was wearing two? So by the way, I'm a big fan of this mask. It's made in Canada. It's called the O2 Curve, and I got it from Master Laboratories, which is up here in Northern California. And it's a hard shell mask that has a filter inside, and it's basically an N98, so it protects the people around you, but it protects you too. But here's the problem with it, and if you're watching the video, I will show you. You put this mask on, it fits perfectly, but it's not a visually appealing mask. It looks like you're wearing protective gear from a hockey game or something. It's just not a good look. So what I do, and it was designed to do this, is I wear a paper surgical mask over it. If you were in a medical facility, you could wear this O2 Curve, and then every patient changed the paper mask on the outside, so you wouldn't have to change the hard shell plastic mask. But I just do that because I don't want to scare small children.
Yeah, but I can imagine you doing that.
It looks like I'm on oxygen or something.
Well, if it was black, you could be Darth Vader for Halloween.
Yeah, or Bane. They actually come in colors, but I just decided, wearing a red one of these isn't going to make it more appealing, just more terrifying. So, yeah. Anyway, what can I do? What can I do for you, GJ?
Let's revisit Google for a second, and I'm going to tell you quickly about an experience. I bought a pack of 3 Google $20 Play store, the cards, the gift cards for the Play Store, at Costco, and in 2013, and I know that because I have the receipt. And when I went to scratch off the code on one of the cards with a Krugerrand, because I like to use the big money when I scratch.
Really? Do you really use a Krugerrand to scrape your lottery tickets?
You can't use Bitcoin, so you got to use
you got something solid gold. That's good. Yeah.
So I scraped it off on the first card, and the whole entire code came off with.
Oh, man.
So you can't call Google support because if you call the number on their webpage, it says they're not taking calls because of COVID. So it's like a 5-day response after I emailed them the photos of the card and the receipt and everything. And they wrote back and told me it's a promo card. It's expired. And I said,
oh.
We know California and Washington have no expiration on gift cards.
Yes.
And it's not a promo card. I bought it at Costco.
It's not a promo card. They're trying to get around this. That stinks.
They won't. They would spend so many man hours or woman hours corresponding with me that is it worth $20 that they won't give me because of the code error? And they tell me they're not responsible. They said in the terms of service they're not responsible for lost, damage, or stolen cars. Well, I'm not the one who damaged it. They're the ones who.
I don't know what the recourse is on this. You could call the Washington State Consumer Affairs Board because I don't, So I should explain this. This is actually kind of interesting. There's a federal law, the CARD Act, of course, which stands for Credit Card Accountability, Responsibility, and Disclosure. And that was passed more than 10 years ago by the federal Congress, by the federal government, that says gift cards can't expire within 5 years. Now, yours is more than 5 years. But what that, by the way, 5 years from the date they were activated, okay? But what that did is set a floor. So and no matter what state of the union you're in, you got at least 5 years. And as you point out, Washington, California, Florida, other states have much longer expiration dates. If you go, I'll put a link in the show notes to the NCSL .org site, the National Conference of State Legislatures, and they have state by state the rules. And I guess, at this point, Google can have all the fine print they want, but, fine print does not get you out of state law. On the other hand, as we know, Google has, a whole building full of lawyers, so they may have cleverly found the loophole. I don't know. I think all you can do at this point, I'm surprised you got any answer from Google, to be honest with you. At this point, I guess the next step is to go to the Washington State Consumer, Protection, like they have Consumer Protection. Yeah, that's a good idea. Seems like a good idea. I just don't know what else you can do. I'm surprised you got anybody at all to talk to you at Google. This is what we were talking about earlier. Google just doesn't, they don't care. They don't have to. I don't know what the answer is. It's nice to hear from you, GJ. I really appreciate it. Glad to know you're surviving out there in beautiful Snohomish. Dr. Mom's on the line because she's got the fabulous new Amazon Halo. Hi, Dr. Mom.
Hey, Leo. Let's not call it fabulous.
So you had to get an invite to get this, and it doesn't have a display. It's not like a smartwatch or even a Fitbit.
It's not even a Fitbit, a basic Fitbit. At least you can look at it and see the steps you take. There's no display whatsoever. If you want the information off it, you have to get your phone out. Okay. And it syncs once an hour. It's not a continuous update. That's probably to save battery life. So. All right, that makes sense. And it's like a Velcro band, but the thing's on the inside so it can read your wrist. The thing so it does what? Body composition, activity tracking. But the thing that was most interested to me is the tone of voice analysis. Oh, that's terrible.
Now, what do you mean it's terrible? Is it too accurate?
It doesn't do body composition. Body composition is done by the phone, and it's not accurate. What they do is they tell you to put on basically a pair of gym shorts, and if you're a woman, put some kind of a sports bra on, and it takes pictures of you at 4 angles and tells you what your body.
Why do they say it does body composition then? That's terrible. That's bad advertising.
It's not like the scales you can stand on where they do what's impedance. They send a very low current through your body, and knowing how tall you are and what you weigh, they look at the resistance of the current and can compare fat content to water content.
This just takes a picture of you. That's silly.
Yeah, it takes. And actually, I tried it 3 different ways. One time was just let it all hang out. Another time, I stuck my stomach in. Then I put on a pair of Spanx, those really tight compression things. I got wildly different body composition.
Wow, you look good in those Spanx, says your watch. That's hysterical. Yeah. Tell me about the tone of voice, though. It's supposed to say, oh, you sounded really angry today, things like that, right?
Right. You have 2 options. You can use, again, your phone to do your tone of voice. Oh. Or there's a little mic built into the device. If you turn on that mic and you tell it to continually check your tone of voice, your battery's gone in less than a day. Oh, well, that's all right. I'll charge it every night. But then you can't use it for sleep tracking. Oh, okay. And what's interesting is I don't know what algorithm it's using, but obviously these days, every morning I go out for a 5K walk with my dog and meet a lot of other people on the trail. And obviously we stay 5-6 feet apart from each other and kind of shout, hi, how you doing? It thinks you're angry at each other. We're screaming all morning. $99 from Amazon, but it sounds like it's worthless. Thank you, Dr. Mom. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Oh, that's so I got on the early access, but I don't think I got an invitation, although my email, I never get anything, so I could have. Leo, you want me? I mean, I'm not going to use this thing. I don't want it. No. I was going to say, does Micah want it to give for his show? I can mail it up to you. You know who might want it is Ant, because he does hands-on wellness. Have Jammerby or somebody just email me the address, and I'll box it up and send it to you.
Oh, we could buy it. We could buy it from you if you. I mean, I wouldn't make you do that, but let me ask Ant, and I'll have John email you, or I'll email you if Ant says he wants to do it. I should probably check my emails since I did apply for an invitation right away. When did you get your invite?
I got my invite on Monday, and I got it. I sent it in. I got it Tuesday evening. The other things didn't mention on the air. The band, it says it's water resistant. You can go swimming and such. The band is fabric and gets wet and is really uncomfortable.
Oh, that's terrible.
If you want to change it to a, elastic band, silicone band, you can do that. They do have other bands. They also say don't take it in the sauna with you. Nowhere where there's a lot of steam.
Doesn't like steam?
It specifically says don't take it in the sauna.
Don't steam me, bro.
Which means, what am I supposed to do when I'm cooking a pot of spaghetti in my hand?
Oh, yeah. Don't put your hand in the pot. That's for sure. Oh, that's hysterical.
There's so many limitations to it. And to me, the battery dies too quickly, and there's no visual display on it. I would expect at least something as much as a Fitbit where it says you've walked so many steps.
Yeah. You have an Apple Watch, I'm sure, right?
No, Android. I've got a Fossil watch. I have
a Fossil.
An Android phone.
Okay. Yeah, because I think, those things are going to be a lot better than anything Amazon's going to do.
The tone of voice, it kills your battery. And we're sitting there, I'm yelling to my friends, hi, how you doing? Having a good walk and everything. And it says, you're screaming at people.
Well, you are.
I am, but I'm not screaming angry. So, like I said,
how would it, that's the problem. It's just, so it's not really doing tone of voice, it's doing decibels.
Probably. I mean, there is certain tone of voice inflections you could probably do, but it just, every time I have to raise my voice to yell at somebody, from across the track,
right.
You're yelling at people again. And so for this, I would say if somebody wants a fitness watch, get a Fitbit. Or if you've got an Apple Watch, Android Wear type of thing, you're fine. You don't have to get one of these. The mic doesn't let you do anything like whisper into it and say, a word, unlock my front gate. In other words, I have, the electronic locks, and as I'm walking back up to the house, I'll tell my Amazon system to unlock the front gate lock.
Right.
My hands are full. The mic's not useful for anything like that. I was hoping I'd be able to at least talk to the thing.
Right. Yeah, that sounds like it. It's kind of what I thought it would be. The only reason I got asked for an invite is so I could mock it, because I had a feeling it would be kind of like that.
Oh, wow. It's a gadget. Maybe they're going to improve it, but considering that if you turn the mic on to do the tone of voice, your battery dies in about 12 hours.
Yeah, that's sad.
I can't see it being useful.
Yeah, they claim 7 days battery life, but you're not going to get that if you use it.
It's 7 days if you completely deactivate the tone of voice.
If you don't use it, then it'll last a long time. Yeah, right. Well, that's not much help.
Not even close to 7 days.
Oh, that's
and they warn you when you do the tone of voice. They say take it down to 1 to 2 days.
Huh. And it's not useful, it sounds like.
I mean, it doesn't tell me anything. The pedometer is as accurate as my watch.
Right.
Which is as accurate as I use a pair of Under Armour shoes, which have a pedometer built into them. So it's every time I step down on my right foot.
Right.
It says you took a step.
Right.
The sleep tracking is okay. I mean, I wear an Oura ring. I'd rather, if I have to wear a little something that doesn't have a display, I'd rather use that. It's not taking up a lot of room on my wrist.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know who the market is, because if you really cared that much, you'd get a Fitbit or something.
Yeah. I mean, for the same price, you get a little Fitbit band. You don't even have to get the watch one.
Right.
And you can look at it and say, okay, I walked so many steps.
Right. I mean, the only thing that was unique about it was the tone of voice analysis, and that sounds like it's as good as the X-ray specs you got in the back of the comic book.
Yeah. And like I said, the body composition, I was looking to say, well, maybe there's a second sensor. Maybe you have to touch it, 2 points, because to do bioimpedance, it's an electric current through your body.
Right.
No, it takes...
Doesn't even do that. That's so stupid. That's so
Take
stupid.
the camera. Turn right.
I can do that without the band. Who needs the band then?
The app doesn't work without the band.
Yeah, of course not. Amazon, you suck. That's so annoying. God, is that annoying.
And you only get a 6-month subscription.
I saw that. How much a month is it?
You have to pay for it.
How much is the monthly?
Didn't even check.
No one knows because no one's going to do it. Yeah. And, of course, Amazon will shut it down before they...
Right. What I'll do is if Ant wants it, I'll give him my Amazon sign-on. I trust him. And, so in other words, the ban is activated.
I'm glad you called. I think you just saved a lot of people a lot of money there. Thank you.
Let's see if I ever get another invitation for early tryout.
Yeah, what do you think I never got my invitation for, huh? Come on, guys.
Have you ever seen anybody get that Amazon Ring the Loop?
No.
That is...
We got the glasses, I think. You got the glasses, right?
No, I didn't.
So it's interesting, but that's interesting. So they do some sort of triage. Maybe they only let you maybe do a few things or something like that.
Well, remember, I was one of the first people to get the original Echoes.
Right. I remember that. I wonder what their algorithm is. That's interesting.
I have no idea. Probably they're looking for little old ladies who are going to say everything is terrific.
It's so good. I love it. I love my Amazon Halo. All right, Dr. Mom.
I'm moving.
I see your air is good in San Diego. That's nice. It's nice in San Diego.
I've had a Purple Air for like 5 or 6 years.
I'm so glad I got it. We really needed it. And then actually, I like the outdoor so much I got the indoor. I don't know how accurate that'll be, but I'm aware of this now, thanks to all that smoke.
Yeah. The only thing I can't get it to do is link up with Weather Underground. It's supposed to be able to do the data.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I don't know how that's supposed to work. Yeah, I saw that. That's all right. I made a little website for myself and embedded the widget on it, and so I can check it very quickly. Yeah. And there's actually a good API. As soon as I get around to it, I can write a little script. There's a good Mac app called Miasma. It's in the Mac store called Miasma. It's free. That will put the air quality in your menu bar. It also gets, which is nice, the temperature and humidity reading from the Purple Air. I couldn't figure out any way without using the API to do that, so that's kind of nice.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so look at it. Miasma. You're on a Mac, right?
Mostly I work off a Chromebook, but I have a Mac.
Okay. If you have a Mac, it's kind of nice. It's a little menu item.
ASTHMA or miasma?
Miasma, like the swamp gas. MIA.
Gotcha. Miasma, yeah.
Miasma, yeah. Thanks, Dr. Mom.
Well, thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Stay well. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Why, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography, smartphones, smartwatches, all that jazz. All that G-jaws and gimcracks and thingamajigs in your life. 8888 Ask Leo's the phone number. 888-827-5536. Did I say that right? Yeah. I've only been saying it for 15 years. 8888 Ask Leo. That's easier. That's why I say that. Website, techguylabs.com if you want to keep track of something I mentioned, or maybe go to a link. We put links in there all the time from all the conversations we have at the show, and that's free. There's no sign up. It's techguylabs.com. On we go to Bobby in Park City, Utah. Are you skiing, Bobby?
No, not skiing yet, although it's a nice fall day today, probably 70 degrees. But it's supposed to snow tomorrow. So
if you live in Park City, you got to be a skier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You bet.
That's nice.
But, they're saying here is come for the winter, stay for the summer.
Oh, yeah. I bet the summer's beautiful. And there's no tourists.
Incredible.
It gets a little quieter in the summer, I'm sure.
Just a tiny bit. They have, of course, the Sundance Film Festival during the winter. But summertime, they've got arts festivals also.
Oh.
It's getting to be a year-round place.
Sounds like a nice place to live. Yeah.
Well, here's one other thing. Since COVID, because we're kind of in the real estate business, people are buying houses up left and right from New York, Florida, L.A., Texas.
Yeah, if you got the money, you go to your country home and get out of the vid.
Exactly.
What can I do for you today, Bobby?
Well, I just wanted to tell you one thing real quick. I'm one of those old computer guys. We we used to sell software in the DOS days, and when the PC came out in '82, our salesmen would travel around to all the computer lands because nobody.
Computerland, I remember them. Computerland, yeah.
Just to do demos. It's kind of
wow. Fun. So you sold computers?
Oh, we sold everything. So we used to actually, the profit margin, it's kind of weird, but the profit margin on PC and the XT, and then we had these NEC printers, these impact printers.
Yeah.
We sell those things for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a piece. And it had great, profit margins. That's, of course, all gone away.
Yeah, no, there's no margin in the PC business anymore. You make $1, $1, and then you make it up in volume, I guess. Well, that's great to talk to you.
Software all turned into subscriptions. So
that's right. There's no money. Gosh, I remember the days when you'd have a software store. And you'd go in. I remember the friend of mine owned a Mac software store, and he was proud to be able to say, there is everything that's available on the Mac I have in the store. Couldn't say that today.
No.
Not a warehouse big enough to house all that stuff. Well, what can I do for you today, Bobby?
Well, this is actually pretty simple. We have the company stages and remodels homes, but mostly staging. So there's a lot of before and after pictures. And, and then after a house gets staged, it's put on the market, they bring in professional photographers, and we have file folders with low-res images and high-res images, which, of course, are pretty big. Anyway, before I got close to the company, they had, computer guys come in, and they had 2 servers set up, one by the warehouse and one all the way over where the owner lived.
Yeah.
And they were charging a tremendous amount of money, and trying to keep them all synced up and everything was just ridiculous. When you get right down to it, there's only like 5 people in the whole company that like to look back at the old photos to see what they did, and so I think it should be an iCloud or cloud kind of solution.
But one that everybody could share.
They could share, but it's got to, hopefully would have a little security in it. But yeah, everybody could share. And then if they have a good internet connection, they could see things very quickly as opposed to using some of the remote products and stuff. It's just too hard to do.
Yeah.
On the old servers. So
yeah.
That's
so almost any cloud solution would work for this. If you really want privacy, the easiest thing would be for you to store it on site. Are the other people who want to look at these pictures just all over the place?
They are.
Yeah.
Primarily in one location, but like for instance, we're up in Park City, and the main group's down in LA right now. And
so Google Photos has the ability to have a private photo album. That what's cool about Google Photos is that you can upload to, but you can give others permission to upload to. So a lot of times when people are having, for instance, an event like a wedding. I don't know. Do people still get married? I don't know. But when they used to have weddings, you could say to everybody, here's the URL for our Google shared album, and everybody could upload pictures to it and everybody could see it, but it would still be private just to those people. And so that's probably the easiest way to do it, is use Google, and that's free.
Well, okay, couple things to add to that. Everybody's pretty used to the old file structure. Everybody's
you want to keep all those folders intact.
Yes, we do.
Got it.
We just drag a whole folder up. And because a lot of times when they come from the professional photographers, we've got 2 file folders. And then we simply create a folder with an address on it, and you click on that, and there's a couple more file folders, maybe even some contracts and stuff like that.
You could still use Google, but you'd have to have a Google account that you would share, or you could pay for G Suite, and then you'd have a shared folder. We use that for work. That's how we do it. We have a G Suite. That's our main shared stuff at the podcast network at TWiT. And so then you could have the folder structure you want. The photos could live there. Everybody would have access to that. You get a considerable amount of storage. Or you could do Microsoft's OneDrive has a similar capability. You can have a corporate account for OneDrive. Again, this would allow you to preserve folder structure and, of course, completely preserve security, because those aren't generally public anyway.
So G Suite, I'm assuming that's a Google product?
Yeah, G Suite is so we use that instead of Microsoft Office, for instance. I think it's $5 per user per month. and they get a Gmail.
Okay.
Gmail account. This is for a business. But then that way each has their own login. It's with, they have their own account. Your company could have its own G Suite. For instance, ours is twit.tv, so mail.twit.tv is our Gmail. Looks like it's ours, but it's really just Gmail. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to do that, but Microsoft offers something similar. If you're willing to pay per seat, that's a very good solution. It would give you the photo sharing, but it would also give you all kinds of shared docs.
Gotcha. So okay, that's good because you start just surfing around and 10 best iCloud things. There's Monday.com.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah. It sounds like you're not looking for a free solution. You're willing to pay for it.
No, we'll pay. Yeah.
Yeah. I would look at G Suite. There's lots of other benefits to that, including Google Meet, so that you can have online meetings, and all of it's fairly secure. That's what we use. We're very happy with it.
Okay, and I assume you've got a mix of Android users and iPhone users.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Yeah, it's completely cross-platform. No, yep.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, that'd be great. We're going to try that out. Listen, I wanted to tell you one other quick thing. I'm a volunteer DJ at the Park City Radio. It's a little public radio station. And I, so you have to read these PSAs and the weather every 15 minutes, all sorts of funny kind of stuff. But the thing that always cracks me up is, you call in the station, it's like 655 Talk or something like that.
Yeah.
And I go, for all of you that are, alphabetic, can't look up your phone and look up the letters and that, trying to transpose that thing on an old-fashioned phone is funny.
It is. I give out 88 Ask Leo, but lots of people don't know what those letters mean.
Never use them before.
That's why I say the numbers now because, that goes back a ways. I bet you used to be Park City 5 3333 or something like that. Did they?
Hunter 825587. I remember that
from your kid.
From my
when you were a kid.
First being a kid.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's a pleasure talking to you, Bobby. Ski safe.
Thank you very much, and I love your show.
Thank you, sir. Special guest coming up in just a little bit. I see my hotline's ringing. Got an emergency. We got to help a good friend. All right, take a deep breath because it's time to talk about protecting your home with SimpliSafe. You get rid of that. That's another thing, by the way. Get rid of that expensive cable company alarm system. How much is that costing you? Probably $45 a month for monitoring, right? Get one of these. Get SimpliSafe. It's $15 a month. Look, this is the thing about home security companies. It's just like the cable companies. In fact, sometimes it is your cable company. They trap you with high prices, with tricky contracts, and lousy customer support. There are lots of options out there, but there's only one no-brainer, and that is SimpliSafe. That's the one we use. It's the one I recommend. SimpliSafe is great because, first of all, who wants an installer traipsing around your house with a drill and they're putting holes in your wall so they can put up their sensors when you can go online to SimpliSafe.com/twit, pick exactly just the sensors you need, and they got them all. I mean, door break, glass break, motion detectors, cameras. They even have water sensors you put near the water heater so you'll know if there's a leak or something. Get the sensors you need. Peel and stick. No drilling. No installer. You just put the thing in yourself. It's very affordable. And then, it'll take you less than an hour. Set the whole thing up. And then you get professional monitoring, the same quality, for about a third the cost of the other guys. $15 a month with no contract, no pushy sales guys, no hidden fees, no fine print, just $15 a month, 50 cents a day. And by the way, because you've got all those great sensors, police respond more quickly in an emergency because they can verify that there's actually a bad guy in the house. I'm not the only one who loves SimpliSafe. U.S. News and World Report named it as the best overall home security of 2020. I couldn't agree more. This is the way to do it. Head to SimpliSafe.com/twit. By the way, you do that right now, you get a free HD camera with any purchase. Now, don't tell anybody about that. That's just for you. SimpliSafe.com/twit. I'm holding this up. That's the base station. And you cannot disconnect this thing. I love it. It's brilliant. SimpliSafe.com/twit. You got to use that address. I want you to so they know you saw it. And, because we want the credit, but also you get the free HD camera. Free HD camera with any purchase. And it's $15 a month. Stop letting the man stick it to you. Just stick their sensors up with SimpliSafe. all over the house. It's great. I love it. Love it. SimpliSafe.com/twit. Thank you. God, I feel terrible. I've been keeping Steve Martin on hold. I feel so bad, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
I apologize. We're not on the radio right now, but we are on the podcast, so don't say anything compromising.
Right. I enjoy listening. I love that other people have problems.
Not just you, right?
Yeah.
So you said you got a guy coming in for the Synology?
A guy did it remotely.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I have a tech guy here in. Sorry to use your.
I'm not the only tech guy, Steve. Just a tech guy. Yeah.
And they were able to do it, and they sent me the instructions. I sort of followed it, and what kind of faked me out is it took a long time for it to rebuild. That's
normal.
I lost all the data, by the way.
Oh my God! So what happened?
Well, I just. By the way, I'm backed up so many times it didn't matter.
Yeah, of course. Good.
And I just logged in Synology and it said crashed. No, the unit was flashing yellow.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, I wonder what that means. So we hadn't been here for like 6 months because we were quarantined somewhere else.
Right.
And I noticed that I couldn't log in to Synology.
That's why, because it had crashed. Yeah.
Yeah. And it said crashed, and the tech people I used here got some info from Synology. I tried calling them once. It was like I was an idiot, and I couldn't understand a word they were saying.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really try to call them.
No.
But anyway, I got and then was able to rebuild it, and they said, well, you can try to save some of the data. Just take out this one hard drive and hook it to a PC and blah, blah. You'll need a link connection. Yeah, so anyway, they rebuilt it. Now it's fine.
So you didn't have to get new hardware. He was able to fix it remotely. Now, I should say that the other option is to get a new one of the same enclosure, take the drives out, and put it in the new one, and that probably might have worked.
But you know what? I had already done that.
Okay.
The Synology unit had stopped working.
Yeah.
So I just ordered one. And it came and I plugged it in and it seemed to come back up and seemed to be working fine. And then it crashed.
So it wasn't the unit itself, it was the data. Now, what you can do with that second unit is have it back up one to the other, like put one in another place, and that way it'll back up to it.
It was dead. I would plug it in and no lights would come on, no fan would come on.
Oh, shoot.
It was dead.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
So before we get back on the air, everything good? You doing well? I loved Father of the Bride. That was so much fun.
We loved doing that. Can you imagine? It looks like when it was first proposed by Nancy Myers to do this kind of Zoom movie, I thought, well, that'll be fun. 2-hour afternoon, 5 days.
Yeah. I saw the story about you in the sweatshirts.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You want to come on the air with me now?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888 Ask Leo. Although I guess now, given what our last caller said, I should probably give you the numbers. 888-827-5536. On the line, my friend Steve from New York City, who is always welcome on the show. It's good to talk to you, Steve.
Good to talk to you.
Things going well?
Was at a concert where I had arranged tickets for you to come see Martin Short and myself.
You're never gonna let this go, are you?
I am so angry with whatever happened, because then your tickets weren't there, and then you paid to get in.
But of course I did. To see you and Martin Short, it was worth every penny. It was amazing.
I wanted to host you, that's all.
And then, of course, you're giving it away on Netflix now, so it's like I could have.
Yeah, right, giving it away for free.
I could have saved some. Are you still touring? Are you still doing that?
Well, no, we can't. So we had 30 shows planned for the. They're all canceled. But it's the right thing to do.
Of course, you want to stay safe, And you don't want your audience to get sick either.
I want the audience to stay safe.
Yeah.
You know, we were in Ireland when the thing really started to happen, and we were going to play Belfast that night.
Oh.
And March, and we said, no, we just can't honestly do it. We were supposed to go to Royal Albert Hall, and we said it's just not right.
Well, I'm sure the day will come when Marty can drag that bodysuit out of the closet, out of mothballs.
We'll do it, but we're doing a television show, you know.
What's that? Tell me about that.
We're doing a television show on Hulu, and it's a sort of a humorous crime show. I'm not really here to promote. I'll just tell you.
No, please do. I want to watch it. That's great. We need this.
It's called Only Murders in the Building.
Because you can't go outside?
We live in a New York building, but it won't be out for a year because we got to shoot them all first. But, we live in one of those high-rises in Manhattan, and we're older, and we decide we like true crime, and wouldn't it be fun to try to solve some crime? But since we're old and tired, we think, well, only murders in the building.
So as long as it's in the building, you can solve it. Otherwise, I'm sorry. I got other...
There's a murder.
And we were talking about Father of the Bride. You did a 30-minute reunion that was a Zoom reunion that was so awesome. Nancy Myers wrote it, and oh man,
Netflix YouTube. And it's free.
Yeah,
it's free.
Well, but it's not. But it's for a good cause.
Yeah, for World Central Kitchen. Yeah. So anyway, here's why I'm calling.
Okay.
I have a few woes that I can't seem to address. One is ongoing. I'll get to that later because that's just like being mad at the world, you know. But I use a Windows computer and an iPad, and a lot of times they don't kind of talk to each other.
Yeah.
So I've figured out little ways, you know. But on my iPad, I have a lot of emails from people I communicate with a lot going into junk.
Uh-oh.
And then I'll look in junk like 3 months later, and I go, oh,
yeah,
so-and-so. And I move it to the inbox and all that. But I'm a little frustrated because I think I'm going to miss some friend who's going to think I don't talk to him anymore because these emails are going to junk.
You remember that, for years, spam was just the word. I mean, 70 or 80% of your email was spam. And
I don't get spam.
Yeah, you don't, because it all goes in the spam folder. But the problem is the spam filter's too good now, and it's getting what we call false positives, or is it a false negative? I can never remember. Yeah. So here's what generally the solution is. So first of all, you can't do this in Apple's mail program. You have to do this, or it's best to do this with your provider. You're using Outlook Mail, I think I remember.
Well, I'm an Outlook address, but I go through Google. So
your main account is a Gmail account.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then I attach those my other emails to the Google. So
yeah, that's what I do too. Yeah, because Google has very good spam filtering, but sometimes
that's why I did it. You recommended it years ago. I thought that's what I'm going to do.
Sometimes it's over aggressive. If you add those senders to your address book, your contact list on Google, Google will go, oh, he knows this guy, and it should not go to spam.
Okay. I always put my addresses in Google, but maybe there's a few I missed.
Well, that's the problem. This only works for people you want to get mail from.
But here's the other thing. All right. if I'm on Google on my Windows machine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for the thing. If I go to Google Photos, right? And I click on a photo to share it.
Yeah.
And it says send in Google Photos, and I type the name, and it won't come up.
So it's not in your address book. When you start typing that name,
I type in my own name.
Oh, you're typing in your own name.
Yeah, and I know I'm in Google. I'll check it.
So you're trying to share to yourself, Steve?
Well, I said I wasn't finding the person I wanted, so I typed in my own name and it wouldn't come up. Anyway, I'll worry about that on Monday.
That's very weird. So the sharing should work as long as the person is in your contact list. And again, I would make sure, and again, it's the Google contact list, not the Apple one, but unless you're syncing. But it'd be better to do this at contacts.google.com. Add them. You can actually add it direct from the email on Gmail. You can say, add this person to my contacts. Similarly, maybe add yourself to your contacts and you can share photos to yourself.
I never log into my... Okay, now, I just went into my Google Contacts.
Yeah.
I typed my own name, and there's my own name, and it wouldn't come up.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Steve has the worst problems of anybody I know. Yeah. And by the way, you got I want to give you one more plug because you've got a cartoon book coming out next month. Perfect for the holidays. You do the captions.
I'll tell you about it.
Okay, hang on, though, because we got to take a break. Can you take a break? Hang on. Leo Laporte, Harry Bliss, cartoonist. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I feel bad. We have these constraints. You were so good, by the way, on the Oscars. I loved that.
Thanks.
I thought that you could only work with Martin Short, so it was nice to see you can work with somebody else.
Yeah. Really fun working with Chris Rock. We had a great time.
He's so great. And you two were really funny together.
I'm just even, as I'm sitting here, I'm coming up with stuff that issues.
So you're back in Manhattan?
Yes, we are.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. You feel safe? As long as the murders are in the building, you're cool.
Everyone is masked here.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's and I know in certain boroughs they're not masked.
Yeah.
And they're having problems, but everyone here.
Good.
And when I was in Santa Barbara, you'd go down the street and you'd see like 20% of people in a mask.
It's the same thing here in Petaluma. I don't get it.
No, I don't get the.
We never had it as bad as it was in Manhattan, and I think maybe we don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad. It's too bad.
Well, it's not going to get better till it starts happening.
I know. Is it difficult for you, or your life hasn't changed probably too much?
We're fine.
Good.
We're fine.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
We're just there's three of us in a house.
Yeah, that's not so bad. It's the same for me. My wife.
Yeah.
Of course, ours is a little older, senior. So he's ready to go. So he hates us. He can't stay. Mm-hmm. It's like he doesn't even want to talk to us. It's like, you're still here? Yeah, we live here. You'll see. Yeah. You'll see.
Yeah, right. They'll be back. When I was a kid, wait to get out of the house.
Right.
But families changed. Parents have started to become friends with their kids.
Oh, that's bad. That's not good. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. So what do you want to do? I think I'm going to let you go because I don't want to take up your entire Saturday.
Listen, I step in front of other people who are also earnest questions. But I do have one more quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
How best to destroy a hard drive?
All the naked pictures are on there. So
no, it's just my data that came out of Synology.
Oh, yeah. Because that could still be recoverable. No, actually, that's smart. That could still be recoverable. So a big magnet, you can, if you feel like having some fun, open it up. There's screws on it. Take the platters out, bend them, grind them. Sometimes they're glass, so be careful. But if they're metal, you could just destroy them that way. Drill a hole through it. Sometimes people drill a hole through the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
If it's easier if you can access the drive, then there's software you can run. But obviously you can't. So, you'll have to destroy it physically.
Yeah. But I used to use a big magnet, and then I thought I read somewhere that wasn't that effective. But a big magnet would work?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just order a big magnet.
You know, you get that we used to use in the radio station. They're called degaussing machines. They're belt driven. You run it over, run it on the machine. It goes, and then you turn it over and you run it again, and it's going to screw it up.
What I'm worried about with a big magnet is I'm going to bring it accidentally too close to my computer.
Yeah, don't, no. Or your wristwatch, or your silverware. You just all the forks go flying across the room. Well, I'm really thrilled to hear from you. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you and the family are safe and sound. And I will send you an email. We'll figure out all these problems. I'll send you an email.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
All right, Steve. Later. Great to talk to you. Take care. He's been everywhere, man. He's another good friend is joining us from Travel Land USA, Johnny Jet, JohnnyJet.com. He's our travel guru. And actually, I blame you for Steve's call. Steve Martin was just on the phone with us. By the way, I did want to, Steve is so, he doesn't like to plug stuff, but I wanted to mention that he's doing a new cartoon book. He's teaming up with a very famous cartoonist. You'd recognize his style from The New Yorker and children's books, and the Bliss comic. His name is Harry Bliss, and they're going to do, apparently, he's going to collaborate with Harry indefinitely. Steve will write the captions. Harry Bliss will do the comics. I think that's just perfect. And they're going to make a holiday book that's going to come out called A Wealth of Pigeons, a collection of all the cartoons. That's coming out November 17th. So I think that's really cool. Anyway, Johnny Jet, thank you, because if you hadn't mentioned last week that Steve had tweeted at me, because I didn't see it, I wouldn't have known to email him and say, hey, what do you need?
Hey, I'm glad I could help. I'm just sorry to be following him because he's a difficult act to follow.
Oh, Steve's you know what? He's not, though. He's the sweetest guy ever. As you can tell, he's completely a normal dude.
Totally.
With the same awful computer problems all of us have, and I didn't help him at all.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him about his travel experiences, but
oh, I could have kept. I'm sorry, I should have kept him around.
No, it's I was putting in the chat room saying, don't hang up with Steve. Keep pushing my segment.
No.
I mean, I enjoy listening to him.
No, I can only talk to Steve for so
like everyone else.
No, he's a great guy. He's really. It's really an honor that he listens to. We met about 10 years ago. He direct messaged me on Twitter saying, no need to answer. Just wanted to say I'm a fan. I said, what do you mean not going to answer? I just got a direct message from Steve Martin. So anyway, we've known him
when I saw
for
his tweet last week saying, Leo, I need you every day.
This poor guy, like his Synology died and he had to get that replaced. And now he can't share photos to himself. And it's horrific. It's horrific. He wanted to know how to erase the old hard drives from the Synology so there's no personal data left on them. And actually, if you can't access the drive, it's kind of a tricky thing to do. You can open it up, I guess, and destroy it physically. The British Secret Service, MI5 or MI6, MI5 says you have to open it up, take the platters out, grind them down, save the filings, and then they keep them in the basement. That's the secret, super secret way to do it. I think it's enough just to run them over a big magnet.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be difficult, especially when you're a celebrity. I mean, he must have some pretty crazy emails in there, or contacts.
I don't know. Who knows?
Or contacts.
No,
Yeah.
He's got my number now.
Well, that's
he's got the hotline number. Now we're in trouble. So
point taken.
Travel is coming back.
It is. You know what? The TSA this weekend, the last 2 days, yesterday. 2 days ago, 936,000 people went through security. Yesterday, 968. That's the first time they've had back-to-back over 900,000 people since March. And you know what? Everyone was thinking they were not going to break 1 million, but it looks like they're going to break 1 million on Sunday or Monday. That's what I'm predicting. And it's slowly bouncing back. Just keep in mind that last year, this time, it was 2.6 million going through TSA security. This is all across the U.S. And normal times, 100,000 people will go through JFK in one day. But it's still a sign that travel is definitely bouncing back. And one big reason why is because airports and airlines are really starting to test people or offering it. They're trying to partner with everyone. We mentioned it last week. San Francisco, United was the first out of San Francisco for Hawaii flights. It's $250 though, which is crazy expensive. Tampa Airport now offers it for much cheaper. I think it's $125. And now Oakland Airport, 2 miles away from Oakland, it's a drive-through. It's free. They're offering it free testing starting next week.
That's what we need. That's what we want.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned when you were on last week, the Hawaiian Air thing has two choices. You can do the instant test right there, 15 minutes. That's not a PCR test, though.
No, that's not the PCR. The PCR has to go to a lab.
So that one you can buy. That's a little less expensive, but it's 3 days. I worry, though, what's going to happen in those 3 days. Let's say you test negative in 3 days.
That is my fear.
Yeah.
That is my fear. But, I mean, that's $85, by the way, I'm pretty sure, for United. It's different. For different airlines, I think JetBlue is $57. Actually, I think Tampa Bay is $57 for the swab or that test that you take home with you. But one at the airport,
that's the 72-hour test, and the one at the airport is a couple $100.
Oakland Airport, which is a great tip. It will save a family of 4 going to Hawaii $1,000.
So if we left from Oakland, the test is free.
Correct.
How reliable is?
They recommend a day before doing it.
Oh, okay.
You have to do at least 72 hours before your last flight. To Hawaii.
Okay.
Hawaii requires a 72-hour test, a test prior to 72 hours.
And then there's a second test when you arrive in Hawaii. Apparently.
No, there's no test when you arrive. You just have to prove that you had a negative reading. And
that may vary where you're going. We have somebody from the Big Island in the chat room who says the Big Island is going to have a second test.
Well, Big Island's not even allowing people in.
It's not open yet.
The other islands are not. It's just right now. It's just Oahu.
Just Oahu. Yeah.
And I think they're having arguments about it because they're all trying to do it. But no matter where you're going, always find out exactly what kind of test, because some of these rapid tests do not qualify.
Right.
So you don't want to show up to these destinations and they'll turn you away if you don't have the correct, usually it's a PCR test. So always find out in advance. Costa Rica is opening up this week. And this is why a lot of these, the airports are starting to get busy because places are opening up. Before, Americans couldn't go. There was only certain places you could go.
You could want to, but it wouldn't matter because you wouldn't be let in. And in fact, you could have gone to Hawaii, but there was a 2-week quarantine. So that's what this test eliminates, is that 2-week quarantine.
And the cruise ships this week, I think it was this week, they announced that every cruise in the world is going to start requiring testing before you get on the ship.
Now, what happens if you get off the ship for an excursion and then get back? Oh, you have to get tested again?
That's gonna. I believe so, and that's what's going to have to be. I mean, that's going to be the future. I believe, like going into movie theaters, you're going to be tested. Going to restaurants. And,
you know what? We'll get used to it. It's worth it. It's like wearing masks. We'll get used to it because that's what it's going to take to get back to normal. And everybody wants to get back to normal. Of course
they do. I mean, and by the way, Qatar Airways just announced they're going to fly out of San Francisco, and they have flights to Cape Town, South Africa for $785 for next year.
Round trip?
Round trip, including all taxes. Yes.
Always wanted to go to Cape Town. Wow.
So, deals like this and Qatar Airways, but Qatar Airways, whatever you want to pronounce it, is one of the best airlines in the world. It's one of my favorite. And, you have to wear a face mask on the plane, a mask and a face mask, face shield.
Wow.
So and they require testing. So the more testing and the more they do it, and as long as it's accurate, the faster travel will bounce.
Do you ever feel like you're in a bad dream, Johnny? Like you, like you fell asleep back in, let's say February. Everything was normal. You were traveling, and you're just having a dream that all of this is good, because it doesn't even seem real. It doesn't. So weird.
I find myself a lot of times walking down the street or going into a store and saying, I wonder if, literally, if I was like Rip Van Winkle, just woke up and someone placed me here, would I be able to figure out what's going on? Everyone's wearing a mask.
Right.
Some of the people have gloves and shields on. I mean, I'm like, what would people think? I'd be like, did a bomb hit? I don't know. But it did feel like a bomb hit.
We're going to get through it together. We're going to make it.
We'll get through it, but it's going to be at least till next year, they say. Dr. Fauci just came out this week saying it's going to be the end of next year.
It's just unknown. It's just unknown. I don't think we can make a prediction. We just got to keep doing it this way until we don't have to.
We got to get used to it.
We just got to get used to it.
And we got to wear a mask.
It's unknown.
Wearing a mask.
I know everybody wants to say, oh, it's going to be this or that. We just don't know. It isn't yet.
Correct.
And but we want to get back to work. Everybody does. So many places in this world depend on tourism for their livelihood. We got to find a way. Yeah. JohnnyJet.com. Yeah, he relies on it. I forgot about that. It's not just countries. Johnny relies on it. It feels so weird. It's just somebody in the chat room said, I got over that bad dream thing months ago. I don't know. I haven't gotten over that. It just feels like we're in a bad science fiction novel.
It does. But, I'm the kind of guy who always tries to make lemonade out of lemons, and I'm embracing this time at home.
Yeah.
Especially with my family. Got 2 young kids.
That's the right thing to do. There's nothing else you can do. You can fuss and fume all day long. It's not going to change anything.
Right.
You can try
I just feel terrible for older people, especially my dad. He's going to be 92 next month. Every year for his birthday, I take him wherever he wants to go in the world. Last year, he said he wanted to come to California to meet my daughter.
I know.
And it makes me cry just thinking about it because, he always either wants to go to Italy or Vegas.
Yeah, but on the other hand, he's 92. He's doing great. He's alive.
He's doing great, but he calls me 5 times a day at least, and I call him multiple times a day. He's just lonely. And
yeah, of course he is. So he's living alone.
His friends are locked up. They're afraid to go out.
Yeah.
My dad goes out and just walks around and keeps his mask on, but he can't figure out really how to wear a mask properly. He's touching it. He's pulling it down to talk.
I was talking to my mom. I got her an Apple Watch so that for fall detection, right? And she's saying, well, I don't understand how it works. She was wearing it like upside down like this. She said, well, that's the round part. She says, that's the part that, I said, no, Mom, that's the back of it. Yeah, I can't tell the time. I said, Mom, you wear it that way. And she said, oh, I wasn't charging either. I said, yeah, that's the front right there. So, yeah, she doesn't go out at all, although I sent her some masks that I made. I think she just likes them because I made them. Oh, God, I don't know. And my wife's going crazy. Poor Lisa's like, when are we going somewhere? Now that Calistoga Ranch is burned down. Jeez.
Right. I mean, my wife and I were looking at photos the other day. She's like, do you remember when we used to travel? I'm like, barely.
Barely?
Yeah.
Barely.
I mean, we traveled every week, almost every week. So we'll get there. It's just going to take some time. And
you just got to hang in there, baby.
Most important is to keep people safe, especially our elders.
Yep. I could see why people are going, is this really worth it? Is this really, but we have to. Yes, it is. I know. I could see why you would say, boy, this is a lot to sacrifice, but it's not for you that we're doing
My dad's
this.
in Florida. I visited him every 3 weeks. I would pop in every 3 weeks at least and surprise him.
I know. You're such a good son.
I haven't seen him since February. So, but.
We thought it'd be a zombie apocalypse. What did we know?
Yeah. Anyway,
right,
next
John.
week, I got some more stuff to talk about.
Good. And love to Natalie. And just, at least you're getting some time with the fam. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We're going to make the most of it.
Yeah.
So
all right. Thanks, John.
All right. Take care.
Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Yeah, it's on my kick the bucket list. That's a good name for it. 8888 Ask Leo. Back to the phones we go. Tom on the line in Riverside, California. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Leo.
How are you?
I'm doing good. My son lives in Arkansas. He's moving from a city to a rural area. Right now, they've got cable TV, so they got good internet.
Oh, good.
But where he's going, they have fixed-based
satellite
radio satellite. It was not satellite. It's a tower with. I guess they do it off a radio frequency. And my concern is on the company's website, their best speeds are 6 megabytes down and 1 megabyte up.
Megabit. It's even worse than that. Yeah. Yeah, that's not so good, is it? But that's the problem. So this is a problem in this country in general is you get to live in a beautiful area where there's not a lot of people around. There's birds and trees and deer. But there's also not a lot of internet because the way the internet works in this country, it's all done by private businesses, and they're not going to invest, and it's very expensive, putting in lines if there's not a lot of people per square mile. So
Exactly.
this is the trade-off. Now there is some hope. A couple of things going on that might improve his situation. Yeah, he's right now. I think that's optimistic. That 6.1 is probably optimistic.
Oh boy!
And it just, I don't know. You know, they have a tower up. Is it a two-way transmitter? I'm not sure how that's working. Here's the things that are going to change for the better. One hopes. First, right now there's cellular, and cellular is getting faster and faster and faster, and so. Depends on how rural you are, obviously, because it's the same constraints. The cell phone companies aren't going to put up towers where there aren't very many people. But if he's lucky enough that there's good cell phone connectivity out there, he might be able to get better internet, LTE internet, and soon 5G internet, soon, in the next year or two, 5G internet from his local mobile carrier. So I would inquire on that.
Okay.
Many areas have what they call wireless internet service providers. They use microwave and other technologies. He can look for that as well. If you go to dslreports.com, which is kind of a forum site, they have, and he can enter in his address and his zip code, and they'll say which internet service providers are available in that area. He may be lucky enough to have a WISP. The hope for the future, and this is coming sooner than we think, is Elon Musk's Starlink. Musk has already got, I saw the number the other day, I think 900 satellites up. He's going to put up 12,000 low Earth orbit satellites with the goal of giving high-speed internet access to every corner of the Earth. He's already started to offer it. He offered it to first responders in Washington State after the fires up there. There are some beta users in the northern U.S. and Canada, and he started to offer it to a Native American tribe, which is kind of interesting. And they are reporting they're very happy with it. So there is some hope. But so Elon says he's going to start offering this probably in beta to most regions of the U.S. in the next year or so. It's not immediately, right? But in the next year or so. And so that is the hope for your son, you know, next year, 2021 maybe, or 2022. They're launching them as fast as they can.
Yeah. One of my questions, too, is where he lives at now, we have security cameras. We got 11 1080p cameras.
Not enough speed for security cameras, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, your megabit, one camera would use up that megabit up, and that'd be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get, though, there are cameras you can get that don't stream all the time, that only stream when there's movement. And in fact, Wyze, W-Y-Z-E, makes these kinds of cameras. They don't use a lot of bandwidth because they're not always on. And you can set them to listen for sounds or watch movement, and you can set how sensitive they are. And then it's not going to always use your internet. So that's good for a vacation home or somewhere where you don't have a lot of internet. Something like the Wyze cams. If you want it, I presume you want internet access to the video from those cameras.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, local cameras doesn't matter, but yeah, if you want internet access. Yeah, so the HOH, the Ho tribe, which is in Washington State, is using Starlink now, and they seem to be very happy. They tweeted a few days ago, what a difference high-speed internet can make. Our children can participate in remote learning. Residents can access health care. We feel like we've been paddling upriver with a spoon on this. SpaceX Starlink made it happen overnight. And they're reporting good speeds, good usefulness. You need a dish. It's not a very big dish. It's about a little less than a meter dish. That would go on the roof, and then that would give you access. So I'm excited about that because I would like to live in a nice rural area too. Yeah. But obviously, high-speed internet is just not a negotiable point for me. So I think there is some hope in sight. These satellites are going up very, very fast. Currently, they say 100 megabits down with 30 milliseconds, but they hope to get to gigabit when they get enough satellites up. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So I would, for him, go to dslreports.com, look and see if there's a WISP, a wireless internet service provider. By the way, they will have significant bandwidth limits both caps and speed. So, you know, it's not going to be a panacea. Nothing's going to be like his cable internet.
Right.
He traded that for the trees, the birds, and the bees.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's an agricultural area, so he traded it for dust.
Dust? Oh, no. That's not a good trade. No, you know, I'm sure there's a reason why he wanted to be there. And but that's, yeah. And it's actually, it's a big problem because it creates a kind of a haves and have-nots situation with people in our rural areas of our country who just don't have that access. And now that we need to do remote learning and, you know, as this tribe said, access to healthcare, there's so many things we rely on for the internet for. And if you're kind of out of the culture if you're out in the country, and that's not the way it should be. So we got to fix that. I'm hopeful that Starlink will be a solution. Elon won't be the only one doing this, by the way. Amazon's Jeff Bezos is trying something similar. I imagine if it works, there'll be a few players up there. 12,000 satellites.
Would that be included in my Amazon Prime?
Yeah, if they double the price, maybe. I don't know. You know, Elon's pretty good at getting a lot of bang for the buck. He might be. Yeah. Yeah, they look at Amazon's a perfect example of a company that needs everybody to be online.
Right.
Your son will suddenly not be an Amazon customer because he's moved out of the area.
Yeah.
You know, they can deliver out there, but if you can't get online, you can't buy.
Right. You mentioned the remote learning. Is that speed that I mentioned, is that going to work with?
It's going to be very tough, one at a time on the Zoom. It's enough for one Zoom. If they really, and this is a big if, they can really deliver that. You know, as you know, internet service providers sometimes overestimate the capabilities.
Yeah.
So if they can deliver 6.1, that's enough for one Zoom call. Yeah. It's the upstream that hurts you. The one is pretty darn slow. That's what really hurts you. Hey, I appreciate the call. I hope he's moving there for good reasons. Anyway. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk about computers and the internet and home theater and digital photography and smartphones and smart watches, all that jazz. We've got new iPhones coming Tuesday. That'll be exciting. We'll talk about that next week, I guess. Got a new Google phone last week. A little less exciting, but it's out there. It's there. We can talk about that. Anything on your mind? 8888 Ask Leo is the phone number. 888-827-5536. Also, there is a website, so you don't have to remember anything, which is good because I can't remember anything either. So we'll just put it on the website. Then you can Google it or just go to techguylabs.com. There's no charge. It's free. There's no sign up. techguylabs.com. And everything will be there. Thanks to James DeRuvo, our scribe, who's writing it all down. Now, earlier, last hour, Steve Martin was asking about, he had a couple of problems, but I think the big one was, and this is something that happens to all of us, email he wanted was ending up in the spam box. Now, he uses Gmail, which is a very good anti-spam tool. Gmail is so good, that's Google's email, because it's kind of a collaborative filter. You know, if you're on the web page of Gmail, if something is spam, if it's a false negative, if it got through, even though it shouldn't have, it's spam, there's a button you can press to say, this is spam. You can report it. It'll immediately go to your spam folder, and that sends a signal to Google. You know that email? That's spam. Enough people do that, and Google's never said how many, but I don't know, a dozen people do that. Google's going to say, you know, because humans are better at detecting spam than any computer program could be. So Google's going to say, yeah, you know what? I think this must be spam. And then it'll go into the spam folder from then on. But it also uses other techniques, and that's probably what's happening to your email when you get a false positive. That is when the anti-spam engine says this is spam, and it's not. It's from mom. Maybe mom put in a bunch of links. And sometimes anti-spam programs will see those links and say, well, yeah, you know, most people don't send a lot of links. That must be spam. That's a very dumb rule, but I've seen it. Maybe she's using words, or she's coming from, this is most likely, coming from an IP address that has had spam problems in the past. That's really one of the chief ways any anti-spam program works is it says, well, you know, this range of addresses tends to be spam heavy. Spammers have been using that. And, you know, addresses move around. Maybe your internet service provider bought a peck of addresses, and it turned out that a few of them came from a sketchy site, and, you know, that kind of thing. Same thing happens with phone numbers, right? You'll get a phone number with somebody who's signed up for everything under the sun, and now you get those text messages. It's that kind of thing. So you can train Google in a number of ways. Now, I think part of the problem Steve was having is he's using his iPad. He was using Apple Mail to get his Gmail. That works fine, but it doesn't give you all the controls that you would have on the web page. So if you're having problems with false positives, with mom's email ending up in your junk mail, you don't want that, or the boss, or your wife, ending up in the junk mail. Sometimes the boss is your wife. Then what you probably should do is go to the web interface. This is the best place to interact with Gmail. Not have Apple's mail in between, but actually be on the web interface. And then you can go to that spam box, see that, mark it, first of all, not spam. Make sure that sender and that sender's email address is in your contact list. That's sending two signals to Google that this is something you want. Usually that's enough. And if it happens again, do it again. So you're training the spam engine, and that's really what makes the spam engine so good is it's trainable, it learns. Because, as you know, spammers are a moving target. They change their tricks, their techniques. You've never seen so many different ways to spell Viagra. That's why they're trying to get around these spam engines. So maybe that's just me, I don't know. But so you got to kind of keep training it. So if you're getting false positives, you're getting emails in your junk mail folder that really shouldn't be, go to the Google Gmail interface and train it there. And it may not take the first time. Do it a couple of times. Make sure that name and address is in your address book. Maybe there's variations. Make sure that you'd say, this isn't spam, this isn't spam. And you might have to do that a few times. But that usually works. I think the problem is those signals, if they're sent from a third-party mail program like Apple's iPad mail program, Google may or may not get it. So it's always better to do that in the Gmail interface. Gollum's telling me in the chat room, when you mark something not spam in the Gmail interface, you'll get a notification that says, you know, do you want me to always not put that in spam? And you say, yes, always not. Never. And then, so again, you're interacting with this anti-spam facility. Dee Dee on the line from Los Angeles. Hello, Dee Dee.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, Dee Dee.
You had tuna for lunch. Do you not want any friends?
How do you know I had tuna for lunch? Are you spying on me again, Dee Dee?
You're very funny. It was on.
Did I mention that? All right. Yes, I am. Well, I don't have any friends, and I'm always wearing a mask, so they'll never know.
There you
Don't you like tuna fish? By the way, why do we call it tuna fish? Isn't that redundant? Because there's no non-fish tuna. But my mom always would give us tuna fish sandwiches when I was a kid.
Leo, I have to tell you something really funny. I used to send my daughter with tuna for lunch, and nobody would sit next to her.
Aww.
Isn't that sad?
Aww.
Okay.
Now, but you can't send her peanut butter anymore, right? Can't send a kid to school with peanut butter. I don't know what the kids eat now.
No. Heck no. Okay, so here's my thing. I, as many other people, I'm going to buy an RV. It's called a Thor Outlaw.
A Thor Outlaw? That sounds dangerous.
No, it's a toy hauler.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. And it comes with a booster for Wi-Fi and cell. But I don't know what needs to go between my laptop, my cell phone, the Ring doorbell, the security cameras. I get what a booster does, but I don't know what to get in between all the things I need to the booster.
Well, you don't need anything to get to the booster. I'm presuming the booster is a Wi-Fi access point, right?
No. It's just a booster. Yeah.
I'm looking WineGuard Connect 2.0 Wi-Fi extender and 4G hotspot. So they have a WineGuard in there. So it's not what gets in between it. It's what gets on the other end of it. It's how you... So the WineGuard's already built into the Thor.
What's it called? A WineGuard?
It's the brand name they use. I'm actually on the Thor site. And by the way, I'm really jealous. This is a nice motorhome. Anyway, I'm very jealous, Dee Dee. So the WineGuard, it's a company that makes these.
Okay.
And in fact, on the website, they have how to connect WineGuard Connect video. They have a YouTube channel, so you could watch a video. But basically, the whole idea of that thing is you have some internet access, most likely a 4G hotspot.
But where do I get that from?
Well, that you have to have. That you supply. And then the WineGuard spreads that more thoroughly through the RV so that you have internet access in every corner of the RV. When you're working at your dash workstation with a 110-volt, 12-volt out, you don't have to worry about weak signal. Works as your Wi-Fi extender and 4G hotspot. I see. So there's a couple of choices. You could go out, and you'll have to check and see, but I presume it supports the big carriers, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile. So you can go out and get a SIM for it, put it in there, and it will turn it into a hotspot. Now you've got Wi-Fi in your RV. Nothing more to do.
If I get a SIM card from Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, or whatever, they can actually put it into that WineGuard.
They'll give you the SIM and you put it in the WineGuard, exactly.
Okay.
But do watch the video. I'm looking at it right now. I'm sure there's a lot of videos that you have to watch on your brand new Thor motor coach. But if you look at the video, they'll show you how this works. You put a SIM in there, so you need to get this. You need to get somebody to provide you. And this is the thing: you have to decide where you're driving, and what will be the best carrier for you, for where you're going.
That's another question I have for you. I am going to break my mom out of her assisted living facility because they've been on lockdown in February.
Oh,
and I'm going to take her on a road trip. She's got Alzheimer's, but that's okay.
She's going to love it. She's going to love it. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to take her on a road trip. And, okay, so I have 4 TVs on that sucker, right? So there's something where I could get Dish or DirecTV and pay through whoever hooks it up, which is fine. But they have a motion lock so that...
Yeah, because you can't watch TV while you're driving.
Right, but Mom could.
Well, it depends on the laws of the state. Whether I presume these are all a one single unit, so you can be anywhere in the unit. I presume while you're driving. I'm not an expert on that, but
yeah, but that's the other thing. They have a removable one that I could climb up on the roof if we wind up in some forest.
Can you hang on? I have to take a break.
Yeah, Leo, of course.
Dee Dee, darling, hang on, and I'll see if I can help you with this. And I'm sure there's somebody in the chat room can. Yeah. But as far as the WineGuard goes, yeah, I'm looking at the video. You just put a SIM in there, and now you've got Wi-Fi. And that's pretty cool. She's springing her mom. I love it. Sorry, I had to take a break, Dee Dee.
Yes.
So mom's in the RV. You want her to watch TV, but they've got an interlock so that if the RV's moving, if this RV be rocking, don't you be watching.
Wait, no, I won't be.
No, I know, but Mom should be.
Correct.
And so I don't know anything about disabling the motion locks. Now, are you going to have a satellite dish on it?
Well, yes. For Dish or DirecTV, I'm leaning toward DirecTV.
Well, that's the first thing you need to be aware of. If you're moving, you have to have the kind of dish you can aim, and it automatically will aim, because as you move, you're going to lose that signal. It has to always be aimed at the satellite.
Correct.
Yeah.
So and they do have the 2 options. They have the motion lock, and they have the removable if we wind up at a KOA for a week. But I'm thinking more keeping Mom busy.
Yes, I understand. Maybe just get a DVD player.
Okay. Yeah, but I like DirecTV.
No, you get it for yourself. But while you're driving, Mom doesn't care, right?
Well, probably not. So get a DVD player in there, okay?
Oh, but that's one option. I don't know anything about disabling that interlock. I don't know if it's how to do it. I have no idea.
Okay.
So I can't help you on that. I'm sure there's a way to do it, and I bet you if you Googled it, what you need is the name of the device, and you could Google disable whatever it is, direct TV motion interlock, and I guarantee you'll find 100 pages that'll tell you how to do it.
Okay.
I just have no idea.
Real quick, Leo, is the SIM card that acts as the hotspot?
So the thing in your RV is a hotspot, but it doesn't yet have a connection to the internet because it's waiting for you to sign up.
Gotcha.
So what you're going to do is you're going to need to choose who you want to use.
Okay.
And AT&T's generally, are you going to drive all over the place or where are you going to go?
All over the place. I'm going to pick her up during the winter in Minnesota and go south.
Yeah. So I just don't know. You can look at coverage maps, but as you know, they're basically a lie. Generally, when I've talked to people, they say AT&T has the best national coverage.
Okay, and then one more really.
So what you'd do is you'd go to the AT&T store and you say, I have a wine guard in my Thor, and I need a SIM for it. And they go, okay, here. And then they will tell you what the parameters are, what the cost, because it's going to cost you, how much bandwidth you can use, and all of that stuff, because there are limits on that stuff.
Okay, so what's the bandwidth if you think about my laptop, cell phone, Ring doorbell, and security camera?
You have a Ring doorbell on it?
The Ring doorbell, yeah.
That's cool.
Well, no, I'm going to have to put it on.
Yeah. It's going to add up.
How big should I go?
It's going to add up because those cameras use like a megabit. I would, I don't know. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888 Ask Lee. We were talking to Dee Dee before the break about her RV. Actually, she's still on the line, I think. Are you still there, Dee Dee? Nope, she's gone. And we were talking about her wine guard. She needs to get us in. Then she asked an interesting, provocative question. How much bandwidth do I need if I have a laptop, a TV, a tablet, a Ring video doorbell? I guess you can put a video doorbell on her toy hauler, and a security camera. Now you're talking some bandwidth. The doorbell and the camera alone could easily use almost a gigabyte an hour. So you're going to really want to constrain how much bandwidth they're using. In most cases, there's a setting that says how high quality it'll be. I'm not sure. I think that could get very expensive. That could be very expensive. How do you figure it out ahead of time? I don't know. Unless you already have all that in your house and you can kind of look and see. But I know, my Nest cameras, they'll use a gigabyte an hour easy if I let them. You have to turn down the quality. Might be a better idea to get, and this was we were talking about last hour, a camera that instead of streaming all the time does the Ring stream all the time? That might not. I think it does, though. Get something that only turns on and streams video when there's motion. Something like the Wyze. Wyze, W-Y-Z-E, makes inexpensive cameras, doorbells. They do everything now. I think they're their goal is to kind of take over the market by making low-cost stuff. And instead of a Ring doorbell, which costs you a few $100, and then you have to do the subscription and all that, the Wyze video doorbell is $30. $30, and there's no subscription. But one of the ways that they keep the price low and the battery use low is they only turn on when they see motion or hear sound. That's all you want. Same thing with a security camera. Ring does, I kept trying to remember. I took my Ring out and put a Hello in. The Hello streams all the time. That's the Nest. I think the Ring did only turn on when it saw motion, right? That's how it saved battery life. And you can set it to sensitivity and so forth. So that might not be as bad. John from Newport, Rhode Island. I'm sorry, Newport Richey, Florida. Never mind. Hi, John.
Hello, Leo.
Hello, John. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. My main question was about getting rid of Facebook, but before we go there, I want to talk a little bit about the internet.
Okay.
I retired working for the phone company. Now, I started way back when it was old rotary dial telephones.
POTS. P-O-T-S.
Plain old telephone service.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I worked inside the COs. So, and then when I retired, when I hit 62, I'm now 69. What I was going to say about the internet, and especially Wi-Fi, trees, the leaves on trees, really eat up radio signals.
I know they do. I used to have a direct TV dish that was the tree during the summer that would get all leafy. I ended up cutting a U in the middle of the tree so the dish could see the sky. Didn't look good, but it worked.
Right, but that's what I was getting to. It's like in the wintertime when there's ice and snow and the leaves are on the ground, your cell phone signal gets a lot better. That's why all cell towers are normally built by roads, because they will bounce off, the radio signal will bounce off pavement, and they will bounce off water. Okay, my main question. I got a Yahoo as my email.
Yeah.
Somebody signed me up for Facebook years ago. I don't remember my username.
Oh, no.
And I noticed Facebook does not have a phone number where I can...
No, it's a free service. There's nobody home. They do have support, but it's not great. So what do you want? You want to know what your account is?
Well, what it is, since I'm retired, I don't play on the internet. I just want, is there a way to completely delete my Facebook account?
Sure. It's a little hard if you don't know your account login and password, but there's a site that I love called deletefacebook.com. It's how I deleted it many moons ago. Deletefacebook.com. You probably can go to Facebook and say, I forgot. If you still get that email at Yahoo, just say, I forgot, and you can recover all of that, and then delete it. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Oh, my. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. 88 Ask Leo. Let's go to Las Vegas. Speaking of sexy things, Ed's on the line. Hello, Ed.
Hello there, Leo. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. I used to be Ed from Upland, California, and now we're Las Vegas area.
I've wanted to do that. Now, are you in Henderson or whereabouts?
Yes, we're in Henderson.
Very nice, isn't it? But it's hot.
We love it. We bought a house up here about 3 years ago and moved up 2 years ago, and much nicer.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Oh, my wife is tapping my leg here. Says, "Get on with it. Get on with
it." What's your wife's name?
Sue.
Sue. Leave poor Ed alone now, Sue. He's on the radio.
And so I've got a question. I was listening to you a while ago when the guy was talking about no internet in Arkansas.
Oh, poor guy. Yeah.
So we're looking to check out a different provider, get away from Cox.
Yeah, Cox is the cable company in that area, but you're not happy with them?
Well, they just, raised the bill up to $335.
Holy moly, that's expensive.
And I don't have a premium channel 1, but we got the landline and cable and TV and alarm system, and which was a 2-year contract on the alarm. And when I wanted to drop it, they charged us $50 a month, and they said, "Well, we'll reduce your bill by $5."
I know.
What do you mean $5?
I know. I have. This is their racket. I have Comcast. I said, I don't need the phone service. I'm not using the phone service. Okay, you can get rid of it. It'll be $50 more to not have it. I said, what?
You're right.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. They all got you over a barrel.
Oh, they got you. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm asking about is I was listening to you telling the guy about DSL reports.
Yes. They're very good for finding an ISP.
All right. Now, I'm blind, and I've spoken to you many times before, but my wife was on the computer, went to DSL reports, and could not find where you put in your address to see what providers are in the area.
It's right up there in the upper right-hand corner where it says search DSL reports. But you don't have, this is unfortunately a problem in general with a lot of areas. You don't have that many choices. You know, you got one cable company because the FCC gave them basically monopoly. You got one phone company, same deal. So, and the other problem is you have limited number of high-speed connections into your house. Basically, it's the cable and the phone line. So it's either wireless cable or phone line. That's pretty much true for everybody in America. And because we have these, you know, regional monopolies, you're going to have one choice on the cable. Phone is a little different because they do require the phone company to offer those same lines to other companies. So you may have other choices using DSL. DSL is less expensive, and so you'll have some choice. Right? Pardon me? It's a lot slower. Yeah, it's not as good. Yeah. So if your provider, I think, is AT&T in Vegas. Am I right?
Well, I don't know. We're with Cox.
Yeah, Cox for the cable, and then I can't remember. Yeah, who the phone is. You might check if it is AT&T. They might also offer their fiber UVerse. In fact, in Henderson, you probably do have access to a fiber provider. That would be worth checking out, because
well, they're connected with DirecTV now, right?
Well, maybe not. You know, that depends. You don't really want TV service if you've got good high-speed internet. Most of what you can get, you'd get over the internet. So you may be able to save money that way. You know, that may be a good way to save it. So,
or a magic stick or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like satellite. I'd stay away from satellite. So,
what about a Fire Stick, though?
Fire Stick is just a piece of hardware. You still need the internet, right? So let's talk. Once you get the internet, yeah, you could use a Fire Stick or Roku and Apple TV and get almost everything you want to get.
Through like Hulu or...
Yeah, I pay YouTube $50 a month for YouTube TV. They give me the locals. You'd get all the Las Vegas locals plus a bunch of other cable. It's basically basic cable. And then you pay for the internet. But see, these Cox guys are not dumb. They're going to charge you more if you don't get their service. So
right, everything you drop off, they want to charge.
They charge you more to get less. So because their biggest fear is that you're going to do what I'm suggesting you do, which is stop paying for their premium TV and alarm service and all that stuff that they're making so much money on, and just say, just give me the internet. That's all I need is the internet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So what's your zip code?
89044.
89044. So right in the middle of the page, you can tell your wife, right in the middle of the page, it says Review Finder. And you just put
it on speaker so she
hears
you.
You put it in the zip code. You have Cox, and it looks like you might have CenturyLink, which would be new. So you might want to check. That looks like business only at this point. So yeah, you don't have a lot of choices. But that's the way it is in America, and we got to fix that, because what happens when you get a monopoly? There's no competition. Prices go up, right? So Cox has you over a barrel. They'll even say, if you say, I'm going to leave you guys, they're going to say, good luck, have fun. Right if you find somebody.
Right. We get emails and offers from Xfinity, which I guess are up in Utah and stuff.
Yeah, you can't use them because you're Cox. The Henderson City Fathers gave a regional monopoly. Might not just be Henderson, might be the whole county, or who knows. But that's how it works.
You're saying I can't go anywhere else?
You can't go to another cable provider. There's only one.
Okay,
but you could go to CenturyLink, which is your phone company, and you could ask CenturyLink, what can you do for me? Can you get me something faster?
Okay.
So I would see if you can get. This is what you want to ask CenturyLink, your phone company. Can you give me fiber to the home, and then how much would that be?
Right. Okay.
That would be your best alternative. Again, there's only a few pipes into your house. Most houses, it's the cable, and it's the phone. Phone is slow, as you pointed out. Cable's ideal, but you only get one choice of cable provider in most regions. There are very few places you get more than one choice. Your choice is Cox. My choice is Comcast. That's it. And I can't use Cox. You can't use Comcast because they have a regional monopoly. So if you're unhappy with Cox, and the other thing to do is call Cox, say, I want to turn off everything but internet because we're going to go over the top and do it with, Fire Stick or, see what the price is on that. And you might be able to save some money. You're going to lose your...
Breaking up my phone.
Yeah, that's Cox knows that I'm talking to you. They're hey, stop it. Knock it off, Cox. I'm talking. Thanks, Ed. Dang them. What happened was in the early days, these companies, the cable companies said, look, we can't afford to dig trenches and put in all this copper. It's expensive unless you say we have a monopoly. And the FCC, well, we don't want to give you a monopoly. That's bad. We believe in free markets. Well, okay, but I can't afford to do this unless you give me a monopoly. Well, okay, we'll give you a monopoly, but just for a little while. Okay. That little while is now about 40 years. And that's it. You can go to your city council, your city fathers, your local government, and you can say, hey, you should, Cox is terrible. You should try somebody else. And, whenever there's a contract with the regional provider and you could withdraw. I tried to do that here in Petaluma. That didn't work. They got you over a barrel. They got you over a barrel. That's why we need more choices. That's why I'm bullish on things like Starlink. So we can bypass this whole thing. But for now, it's the wires coming into your house, and you only have usually just two choices, the phone company or the cable company. Yeah, and AT&T owns DirecTV, and, so it's even worse. It's even worse. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Giz Wiz coming up. It's time to dance in with Dick DeBartolo, Mad's maddest writer, our disco fool, and our gizmo wizard. We call him the Giz Wiz. Hello, Dickie D.
Leo, how you doing, pal?
I am feeling very well now. When I hear the disco music, it makes me happy.
Doesn't it?
I remember those days.
Studio 54.
Studio 54. Yeah. Oh, dancing the night away. So Dick joins us every week to talk about some sort of gizmo or gadget that he's picked up lately. What do you got there?
Yeah, all right. So the last time we did something from Odoro, it was weird. It was that bracket you put around your neck and you hang your phone on it so you can. Yeah. Right. So, however, this is way more interesting, especially now that people are home. And was it Twitter on Friday announced? Workers never
have to come in. Microsoft just announced the same thing. Right. Stay home.
Exactly. So Eudoro has something. It's interesting. It's called the Ustream Home Streaming Studio.
What? Are you using it right now?
I am not, and I'll tell you why I'm not using it. I shot some video with it, and it has a 10-inch LED ring.
It's the ring light, which all the TikTokers love the ring lights. Yeah.
You can tell that they have it because they have raccoon eyes.
Yeah, it gives you a little ring in the eye, yeah.
Exactly. But what's interesting is all the LED lamps that you and I bought, the same controller is on this 10-inch ring light. So you can select white, warm white, and then you have 10 degrees of dimming. And that's all on a line switch, and it's far enough from the circle of light that you can have that in your hand if you want to adjust it while you're on camera.
It also makes an excellent halo.
Yes, exactly. I was saying to Dennis, there is no way I can get this ring from my glasses. And Dennis said, well, why don't you just put it behind you and become an angel? And I said, all right, well, that's a good use.
That's a good picture on his website, gizwiz.biz. Look at that. You're funny. So this is, but lights, because everybody's doing Zoom nowadays, lights are actually hard to come by on the internet. They're all sold out. Can you get these?
You can. So I bought it. It was $40, $39.90.
Holy cow! How many lights do you get? No, that's cheap.
Oh, yeah. No, you get that entire ring. I don't know how many LED lights are in there.
So you get a ring light, and you get the tripod, too?
And you get the tripod.
Oh, that's a good deal.
And in the center of the ring of lights is a phone holder, okay? Now, the phone holder, I got it. It only opens 3.5 inches for the width of your phone. Then once it's in there, you can see if you watch my website. And then you can bend that to be either portrait or landscape.
That's actually really cool because this is how you want the ring light. Ring lights, the idea of the ring lights is to go on the camera. But instead of having a single point flash over the camera lens, which gives you those red, scary eyes, it lights it all the way around, and it's a more even light. And all the kids are doing that now. All the TikTokers have ring lights now.
Absolutely. And let's see, the tripod goes from 18 inches to 52 inches. And if you don't need the tripod, they make a $29.95 version of it that clamps onto a desk. So it's still the ring light. It's still the thing to hold your phone. And you still get the little remote control.
But the reason you don't use it is because why? Because you'd have big circles in your glasses?
Well, the reason I don't use it is because I have panel lights.
You have lights. Yeah, you're well lit. Frankly, you're a little too well lit, to be honest with you. You can turn the lights down a little bit here. You're blinding. It's blinding. It's so bright. Yeah.
And then also the mirrored ball reflects in my glasses, so I can't have too many lights.
No. But boy, that is a great price, and it's on Amazon. But the best way to get it is to go to Dick's website, which is gizwiz.biz, GIZWIZ.biz, because he's got a link there. You can read all about it. In fact, you can read all about every gizmo or gadget he's mentioned on our show, going back many, many moons. But also his appearances on ABC's World News Now. There's also a chance to play the What the Heck? What the heck is it? Goes through October. You have a chance to win an autographed copy of Mad Magazine, autographed by this guy right here, if you can identify whatever that is. I'm looking at it right now. It's a close-up picture. It looks like Darth Vader's helmet or something. I don't know what.
I cannot give you any hints.
No. If people figure that, so there's 6 Mad Magazines for the right answer. If there's more than 6 people, they'll do a drawing, and there's up to 18 for the best wrong answer. Actually, 12 for the best wrong answer, and you're playing for the Halloween Mad Magazine. You know, this will be a good one to have because it'll have some of the older Halloween stuff in there.
Yeah,
too.
I have Psycho in it. Psycho 2.
Your Psycho parody.
The second version that Anthony Perkins did.
What Psycho? Also, what name did you though give it instead?
Well, it was Psycho letter 2, and so for the mad thing, it's Psycho, T-O-O. Psycho 2.
Of course it is.
And Leo, I have to thank you for starting the Giz Wiz show because the episode that just went up is number 1800.
You're beating me, Dick. That's amazing.
1800
episodes of Gizmos and Gadgets at gizwiz.tv. That's where his podcast lives. There's audio and video there. 1800. That's really neat. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, well, thank you.
Well, I'm not there anymore, so I can't take any credit. Chad Johnson took over. He's probably done a couple hundred by now.
Yeah, he's did more than 250 episodes. It's like astounding.
Yeah. But I was there for the first 1,300. Yeah,
exactly. Unfortunately, everything we do, we can kind of do remotely around people.
We're very lucky because the quarantine has actually helped us because we didn't like people anyway. And it just gives me an excuse not to go visit. I don't know if that's your experience.
That's good.
You probably miss it. You probably miss people and stuff like that, not me.
Oh, my gosh, yes. I'm tired of walking in a 10-block area of my house, of my neighborhood, I mean.
You can walk around, though. You can go outside, yeah. I know that the numbers are starting to go up in Manhattan a little bit.
I know, but I haven't been on a subway in 7 months.
Ironically, the subway may not be so bad. It's well ventilated. It's the little poorly ventilated spots you want to stay away from.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I wish you well. I hope you stay healthy because we need you. And I look forward to
the same with you, pal. Magazine. You're the head needed person.
I'm sealed in here. There's no nothing getting in here.
No, I watch you leave the studio with the thing, and then
I use PPE, but I don't leave. Yeah, I got some severe.
Oh, yeah. And then those overhead things spraying stuff as you walk down the hall.
I got this tube now that goes to my car, so I don't actually have to be exposed at all. It's great. Yeah. GizWiz.biz to get those ring lights. Those look really nice, and that's a heck of a price, $40. Wow.
Yeah, it's very decent.
And don't forget, episode 1801 is coming soon of the Giz Wiz podcast at gizwiz.tv. Thank you, Dickie D.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
Healthy.
Stay safe.
Okay, bye.
Yep. Bye. Can't believe we're out of time. Thank you, Lady Laura, Professor Laura, our musical director. Did a great job picking the hits. Even that weird Paul Nicholas tune. That was cool. Thank you, Kim Schaffer, our phone angel. She's getting you on the air, pasting down your cowlicks for your appearance on national radio, but mostly thanks to you for listening. Thanks to you for calling. I really appreciate it. I hope you come back again. I'm Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy. Have a great Geek Week. Well, that's it for the Tech Guy Show for today. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, TWiT, TWiT. It stands for This Week in Tech, and you'll find it at twit.tv, including the podcasts for this show. We talk about Windows on Windows Weekly, Macintosh on MacBreak Weekly, iPads, iPhones, Apple Watches on iOS Today, security on Security Now. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And, of course, the big show every Sunday afternoon, This Week in Tech. You'll find it all at twit.tv. And I'll be back next week with another great Tech Guys show. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.